The Fighting Hawks pregame show, presented by Sanford Health. Here for all, here for good.
On a brisk November day in the Red River Valley, Midco Sports coverage of NCAA football continues with a storied rivalry that needs no introduction. It is the 13th ranked North Dakota Fighting Hawks playing host to the top ranked and defending national champion North Dakota State Bison. Great to have you with us ahead of meeting number 118 all-time between UND and NDSU. Alongside Ryan Gasowski and our crew, I'm Alex Seinert. This is a matchup that has been circled on the calendar for well over a century, Ryan. Add in the stakes today for both sides, and it does not get much bigger.
It doesn't. North Dakota State, this is such an important game. But when you look at when it's being played this late in the season with championship aspirations on the line, super important game for both these teams today.
A victory this afternoon for the Bison would mean they would clinch the Missouri Valley Football Conference Championship outright. North Dakota needs a win to keep their title hopes alive and keep them firmly in the picture to earn a seed in the postseason. Through 2 months of the year, both NDSU and UND have established themselves on both sides of the football as two of the nation's best, and the numbers bear that out.
Yeah, what's going to give today is really the question. You've got good on good going at each other for 4 quarters. This is going to be a great matchup to watch. Two teams that pride themselves on being able to run the football, being able to play great defense. These are two teams that are playing really similar right now as far as those statistics go, so this is going to be a great matchup to watch.
Not a lot of holes for either side entering this contest. Now, one of those potential question marks entering the year was quarterback for both the Bison and the Fighting Hawks. Cole Payton and Jerry Kaminsky have provided the answers emphatically this season.
They certainly have. They have put all questions to bed on that. Two quarterbacks that have really led their football teams, have been great, have been very efficient. I think both these guys are excited for this matchup, show what they can do, continue to lead their football teams.
Peyton's Bison have lost just once to North Dakota in 7 meetings in the D1 era, but that defeat came inside this building 2 years ago. We'll see if the Alaris Center magic makes the difference here today, or if the Bison can stamp it out and earn another Missouri Valley Football Conference championship. It all kicks off next from the Alaris Center. North Dakota State. Stay tuned.
Here, we believe in doing good.
Years after North Dakota was admitted to the Union, the state's two universities met on the gridiron for the first time in the 130 years that have passed since. This rivalry has grown into one of the best in all of college football, littered with legendary games and characters. Don Morton, Roger Thomas, Rocky Hager, Dale Lennon, Jeff Benstrom, Mike Mooney, Tony Satter, Klein trophy on the line. That's what this rivalry has been. Now it's time for the next generation to make their mark.
How can you beat it? This is exactly what the state of North Dakota lives for. Days like today, you're either a Fighting Hawk or you're a Bison. There is no in between with these two teams. It's going to be a great matchup.
Tim Polasek now in his second season as head coach, his 12th overall with this Bison program over 3 different stints. He talked about how in the build-up to this game, it just feels different when you wake up on a Saturday morning and you know North Dakota's on the opposite sideline. Same story for Mandan's own Eric Schmidt. Year 1 for the Junkyard Dog himself. He formerly captained this North Dakota side to a 3-1 record against NDSU when he was a player. It's his first chance now to take charge of this team. He spoke at length about setting them up for success, preparing them for this moment, all the emotion, all the pageantry, the atmosphere that this rivalry brings. And it's time to finally kick the football off and get it started.
And they didn't shy away from it this week. I mean, both head coaches talked about it, talked about the importance of this game. And if you want to look at two guys who epitomize their program, both those head coaches are perfect fits to run those programs. They're doing a terrific job.
North Dakota won the toss and deferred. So Kenton Loftman will kick things off to the Bison. And we are underway, meeting 118 all-time between these two foes separated by 70 miles of interstates. Jackson Williams, who returned to kickoff 100 yards last week, stopped right in his tracks at the 20-yard line. Tyler Erkman stepping up to make the stop. Cole Payton, year 1 as a starter. How's it been going? He's the best quarterback in all the FCS. Just the 72% completion percentage. 11 touchdowns, 10 rushing on the ground as well. He's been unflustered, outstanding in every phase this year.
And he came into this season really as the running quarterback. They'd bring him in Wildcat. What does he really bring from an arm? I'll tell you what, this kid's got a rocket for an arm. Has really done a terrific job showing the fact that he can throw this football. And boy, he has had a great season so far for the Bison.
Empty back set, and it will be the senior from Omaha taking the direct snap and powering through for a gain of 7. The rest of the Bison starters today on offense brought to you by All True. It is an offensive line that had to replace 3 starters from last year's title team, including a first-round NFL draft pick, and they have not missed a beat. They've been healthy all season long. Trent Fraley, all newcomer last year in the Valley. Griffin Empey, a reigning freshman All-American at right guard. Barika Penu, West Fargo Cheyenne's own, has been outstanding this year. 15 touchdowns for number 8. Bryce Lance on the outside, the best receiver in the FCS, a matchup problem for anybody in the country. 2nd and 3, and it is Penu. Mets just before the line to gain. North Dakota not afraid to stick their nose in there as we look at the 4-2-5 defense under Eric Schmidt's direction, brought to you by All True. Caden Vig leading the way this season up front with 4.5 sacks. Malachi McNeil, a captain again this season, a 3-year starter, number 7, one to watch. Zach Lewis led this team in tackles a week ago in defeat on the road with 11, a playmaker in the secondary. 3rd down and 1 from the 29. Penu in the backfield alongside Payton. Crowd already on their feet on the first series of the football game. Pressure coming. Payton eludes the hit and is still on his feet. And finally, North Dakota will get him down shy of the lines again. Johnny Wiltshire came free off the edge, and Payton's size and strength, too tough to handle, but they do not get the first down.
Yeah, great effort there by Cole Payton. North Dakota brings the safety blitz off the edge, gets there. Payton's able to do, just about enough to get that first down, but North Dakota's defense rallies to it, make sure that first down is not picked up. Good stop by North Dakota's defense.
2nd week in a row, the Bison offense have gone 3 and out to start the game. That was a point of emphasis from Tim Polasek coming in. Fighting Hawks defense, though, able to step up and send Aaron Bickerton on, the redshirt junior punter. Young man from Stoke-on-Trent, England. 42 yards per kick, and this will be fielded on the hop. Zach Lewis, the Northern Arizona transfer, tripped up inside the 10-yard line. A couple of flags on the play. See what the infraction is here on the return. Jason Perkins is our referee today.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 9. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. First down, North Dakota.
Special teams were an issue for North Dakota last week in the 26-21 defeat to South Dakota. And already rearing their head a bit as UND is going to be backed up inside the 5 to start their first drive.
And it was a tough one because Erkman is trying his best to not get any contact, but just cut off a little bit, enough to get that block in the back call. That's a really tough punt to field, too. I'm sitting up here going, hey, if he lets that bounce, you know, NDSU's probably going to stop it on the 1, so he tries to return it. Really a great punt by North Dakota State. That would kind of put Zach Lewis in that no-win situation of, do I take this, do I let it bounce? You know, and then obviously you get the penalty, which backs him up as well. So big special teams there for NDSU.
It goes down as a 62-yard punt. First and 10, Jerry Kaminsky, the redshirt sophomore quarterback, able to gain a little bit of breathing space out across the 5-yard line. Kaminsky from the Madison suburb of Sun Prairie has been outstanding in year 1 as a starter. What has made him so effective right from the jump this year, Ryan?
I think it's been the efficiency. I think it's been the way he's run the offense. You know, if you listen to Coach Schmidt this week, he talked about, you know, last week felt like probably the first time that Jerry got out of the system, tried to do too much, you know, tried to make that hero play and not the right play. I think today you look for Jerry to kind of get back on track, run the system, and just be efficient like he's been all season.
He will hand off to this man a lot today, Sawyer Seidel. The sophomore from Hugo, Minnesota, 4 consecutive 100-yard games on the bounce for number 9. He's got a first down here.
Getting to the outside, Sawyer Seidel, this is what we've seen him do this entire season, is be able to make guys miss. That first contact doesn't get him down. Again, very talented player for North Dakota, and a guy that obviously they want to get the football to.
He has seen the lion's share of the carries in recent weeks as there is an injured Bison on the play. Gavin Zebarth, the senior tailback, injured on the road against Southern Illinois in that big road victory about a month ago. See Darius Gibbons being attended to as we step away for a moment. 11:45 left in the first. North Dakota State hooking horns once again.
He got up, and you could just tell something was wrong there. And like you said, you know, there's a trickle-down effect with those injuries too. All of a sudden, you got to get some different guys on special teams. You know, those injuries start to add up to a football team.
Ryan Jones, the senior from Frisco, taking his spots. Corey Ty now on the end arounds, out across the 25-yard line. That was Jones up on the stop. Isaac Frichte, the North Dakota offensive coordinator, getting this Bison defense shifting left to right.
Yeah, Hoskins takes that reverse too. He does a really nice job of using his speed. I think last week, it kind of showed you got to get North Dakota State going east and west. It can't just be Adam Wright all the time. So a great play call by Isaac Frick to use Hoskins' speed to get to the outside.
Good catch, Ryan. 13, not 15. Hoskins, the speedster from Minnesota. North Dakota State in the backfield. Toby Anene taking down Kaminsky, a replay that did not go North Dakota's way as they'll be backed up. A loss of 5 on the play. The offensive starters for North Dakota, Caleb Olson, still not available for UND up front. He's missed much of this season. The rest of that group, though, has been solid and steady, led by Seth Anderson, the former Bison tackle. You mentioned Seidel having a great season. Nate DeMontenac has become a steady number 2 behind the impressive BJ Fleming, and it's DeMontenac making this grab to make up some of the lost yardage. North Dakota State's defensive line, Keenan Wilson having a fantastic season. The sophomore for the Twin Cities, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks this year up front. Logan Kopp, first team all-conference a season ago. Nathaniel Staling leading the team in tackles this year. And this secondary, Talon Edey, will be relied on a lot now, moving into a starting free safety role. Anthony Shademi Alfaro also stepping up in place of Jalen Duffy in one of the cornerback spots. 3rd down and 10 now for Kaminsky. Across the middle, that is caught right at the 30-yard line. DeMontenac able to break 1 tackle, and he's got enough to move the chains out to the 37-yard line.
What a great effort by Nate DeMontenac. There's no way this first down should have been picked up when contact was made. You're going to see him come across the formation. All of a sudden, Kaminsky sees him. He's able to break the first tackle and get that first down. That's an effort play by Nate DeMontenac.
That ball was actually tipped also on the way. Great concentration from the senior wideout from Ontario. Able to sneak past Logan Kopp, who led this team in tackles a season ago. Kaminsky faking the toss. Nice catch by Hoskins in the flats. He is electric in the open fields. Able to make a couple of guys miss and gain an extra yard or 2.
When you can see the athleticism there, and that's a smart decision by Jerry Kaminsky on that too. Hey, get the ball out to your guy in space there. Yes, he could have kept it, but then you think about taking a hit. Get the ball out quick. Good decision by Kaminsky on that play.
Hoskins, such an inspirational story. He lost his mother earlier this season. He's been playing through that grief in his first season with the program after transferring from the University of Minnesota. 5-yard gain on the play as Seidel now gets swallowed up in the backfield. Great penetration. Nathaniel Staling there.
Well, and this defense, again, when they are able to do this and get penetration up front and fly around, that's what makes them so dangerous. They have the size, but they also have the speed. That's a play where you hope that Seidel can get to the outside without the defense getting there. But NDSU's got too much speed up front, able to get that tackled in the backfield.
Logan Larson, the first man to meet him, the junior nose guard from Woodbury. Loss of 3 now, 3rd and 8. Kaminsky, BJ Fleming's got the first down across the middle. Right in front of the outside linebacker, Donovan Woolen. Another 3rd down conversion for North Dakota on their first possession.
And another route across the middle. Same type of play that DeMontenac was able to get a first down on. You're going to see him just come across the formation. You get matched up with the linebacker, able to pick up a first down there with BJ Fleming catching that ball across the middle.
He has been fantastic in his first season in Grand Forks. 3 previous years at NAU down in Flagstaff. He's got more catches this year than he had in his previous 3 years combined. Seidel finding some space up the middle to the 44-yard line. North Dakota into Bison territory on their first possession of the football game after they forced the 3-and-outs.
Well, and those are runs just right at the heart of the defense too. I mean, those are the ones you got to show you can do. A great job there on first down to be able to just run right up the middle, right at NDSU's defensive line, and be able to pick up 4 yards on a first down. It's exactly what North Dakota wants.
Kaminsky on the fake. He'll throw this one away. Hoskins was in the area. Good coverage downfield. The Bison front reading that well. It was Kelton McCaslin forcing the sophomore quarterback out wide. Flag on the play in the Bison secondary.
There is no foul for an ineligible receiver downfield as the quarterback dumped the ball. It'll be second down.
Third down that Kaminsky has faced on this drive, which started way back on North Dakota's own 3-yard line. Isaac Frichte talked this week about trying to matriculate the football down the field, a little Hank Stram. I'm not sure if we're going to see 45 toss power trap here on third down and 6, but they have done that on this first drive. Kaminsky in trouble again, and he will go down. 3 Bison in the backfield. McCaslin back there. Toby Anene in the area as well. North Dakota State not fooled on the keep.
And they were right there. I mean, as soon as Kaminsky kept that RPO, the Bison defenders were right in his face. No chance for that play to have any sort of success. That defensive line just too quick on Kaminsky.
Luke Silvernail on. Jackson Williams standing in his own 10-yard line. The All-American returner. Spiraling kick, which will go over his head and take a North Dakota bounce. Perfect punt from Silvernail inside the 5-yard line. The junior from Michigan has been a revelation this season in his 3rd year as the starting punter. Bison backed up when we come back to the Alaris. North Dakota does have the all-time edge. As you see, the Bison, of course, had that dominant 12-game winning streak in the 80s. North Dakota flipped it and won 10 of the last 13 in the 90s and early 2000s before they took a break when the two schools went their separate ways. Since they've been reunited again, they started playing in 2015 as non-conference foes. Now in the Valley, the Bison have had the better of play. This has been a tricky place to come, though. UND 3-1 against North Dakota State in the Alaris Center since the building opened in 2001. Tim Polasek was quick to point that out. He said, that program has our full attention. We know the struggles that this program, the Bison program, have had going north. We're going to try and erase some of that history here today. His offense now backed up a bit. Great punt by Silvernail, 46 yards to the 5-yard line. Just to flip the field on that drive, massive for North Dakota.
And to show that you're able to run the football, pick up some yards, eat up some clock, then you're able to get a great special teams play like that. That was a huge series for North Dakota. Even to not come away with points, to be able to flip the field was really important.
Gain of a couple on 2nd down and 9. Barika Penu not finding much space against one of the top rush defenses in the country. North Dakota allowing just 90 yards on the grounds this season. Tops in the Valley, 6th in the FCS. Not surprisingly, NDSU, the best rushing attack in the Valley, 4th best in the nation. You talk about strength on strength, we're going to see that all night. 3rd down and 6. Bison, one of the best at converting, nearly 55% at 3rd down this season. Peyton to throw. Trying to find Williams, who came back for the football. and made the catch, it would appear, at the 18-yard line. Fantastic effort by the sophomore from Omaha to move the chains.
Well, and a good effort by Cole Payton to keep this going as well. Rolls out, keeps his eyes downfield, doesn't just tuck it and run, continues to let his receiver break off his route, come back to the football, and pick up a first down for North Dakota State.
Williams so good in the return game. That's just his 12th reception this season. DJ Scott now getting his crack. Nothing doing inside, and now a little after as tempers rise early in this contest. It's Carson Williams, the tight ends, saying hello to Avery Scott just outside the line of scrimmage.
Well, and you can tell that the players feel it right now. There's a lot of energy down there. There's a lot of bad blood with these two teams going at each other. I think the one thing that I like out of North Dakota's defense right now is those safeties are flying up to play a run. They're making sure that those running backs cannot get free, really being aggressive in the run game, which I think you have to do against North Dakota State to have success.
No gain from Scott, the sophomore from Florida, brings up 2nd and 10. Payton with time. Ball over the head of Bryce Lance. Little shove out of bounds from Scott as well.
And that's a matchup obviously North Dakota is going to need to keep their eye on, is where is number 5 at all times. Great job by Avery Scott to get out there. He's in great position even if Bryce Lance is able to catch that football to get him tackled, but he's there to be able to break that up just in time. Brings up another important 3rd down here for North Dakota State. 3rd and 10.
Bison need the 28s to move the chains. The Alera Center crowd back on their feet again. 3 receivers for Payton. Payton with plenty of time, intercepted! Malachi McNeil! First turnover of the football game, goes the Fighting Hawks way, and it's the senior captain!
Well, North Dakota decided to drop back on that 3rd down. They had brought pressure before, but they only have the 3 guys going right now. All of a sudden, there's nowhere to throw that football. Cole Payton on that one stared down his receiver. Malachi McNeil was right there to pick this football off. Great position, huge turnover for NDSU. North Dakota's in a great spot on the field here to put some points on the board.
A young man from the Chicago area. 3rd year starting at middle linebacker for UND. Massive play in this football game to set Jared Kaminsky inside the Hugo's red zone. 1st and 10 from the 11. Kaminsky will keep this. Nice crackback block. The sophomore QB down inside the 2-yard line. Jaquise Alexander saving the touchdown.
And that's the element of Jerry Kaminsky's game I really feel has come a long way, is being able to run the football, show he can run the football. And if you forget about it, it's plays like that where all of a sudden he picks up 9 yards on a 1st down. Great read on that RPO by Jerry Kaminsky.
2nd and 1. Seidel up the middle, touchdown, North Dakota. UND strikes first following the McNeil interception. Seidel right up the guts.
And look at the push by the offensive line. There is not a yellow helmet in sight right there. Great job by the big boys up front, the 701 moving company. All of a sudden, North Dakota's in there with a touchdown. Great turnover by UND, finishing it off with 6.
15th touchdown of the season for Seidel, 10 on the ground. Kenton Loffman, the redshirt freshman, on for the extra points. Seidel and North Dakota on the board in the 1st against their arch rivals. 7-0 home side, 2:52 left in the 1st. Barika Penu for North Dakota State, Sawyer Seidel for North Dakota. Penu's gotten a lot of the plaudits for those touchdowns. Seidel has really come on since that Zebarth injury 4 weeks ago. He's the one who finds the goal line first here today.
And North Dakota really needed him to be that guy too. They needed him to step up. But again, I think Coach Schmidt even talked about it too. The fact that I think the part of his game is he's not just a speed guy. Yes, he brings that element, but he can now run in between the tackles. He can break the tackles. And boy, when you're an all-around back like that, that's super important. And he has been a terrific, he's had a terrific season for North Dakota and much needed with the Zebarth injury.
You said it on the touchdown. Liam Beecher, Ben Bucks, Isaac Carib with the guys in the middle opening up the space for Seidel to fire through from 2 yards out. You see Kenton Loffman, CJ Elrich, who would be the starting place kicker for this team, still dealing with a lower body issue that he suffered on the road at Southern Illinois. Loffman, who was a multi-time All-State kicker in Kansas in his high school days at Mill Valley, taking over place kicking duties. He will send one deep. It's Rajon Nelson waiting for it this time. Nelson, part of this dangerous return corps for the Bison that were so impactful last week in the 38-30 win against Youngstown State. Not enough space for the sixth-year senior to get free. Quick check of our Lignite Coal Power Drive. It all started with this pick. First career interception for the senior Malachi McNeil.
Yeah, what a great time to have that first interception. Good read by Kaminsky here, keeps it on the outside. And then the big boys up front making sure Sawyer Seidel will be able to get in for that touchdown. Great way to finish off. Yes, the interception is one thing, but to finish with a touchdown is super valuable. Nice job by North Dakota's offense to finish that off.
9 touchdowns for Seidel in his last 4+ games. Cole Payton and company. Payton just coming off his 4th interception of the season, taking over. Great pass breakup that time. Antonio Blewett breaking on the football to prevent Jackson Williams from making his 2nd grab along the boundary today.
Well, and Antonio Blewett has been able to do this entire season too. A guy that really, since he's been able to come in, has done a really nice job breaking up passes, doing what he needs to do. You look at Bennett Walker going down. Blewett has really had to be that guy that has played a ton of those reps. And boy, has he ever been up for the challenge.
6th pass breakup of the season for the junior from Buffalo. 3 interceptions, 2 of those coming on the road at Montana. 2nd and 10. Penu right up the middle. Nice gain of 5 out to the 26.5-yard line. 3rd and manageable now for North Dakota State.
Seems like a really important 3rd down for North Dakota State. If you're able to pick this up, quiet the crowd a little bit, be able to continue this drive. And on the flip side, just as important for North Dakota to keep this momentum in their favor.
The Bison 1 for 3 on 3rd down today. The best 3rd down team in the Valley, 2nd best in the nation. Payton to throw forward on 3rd and a long 5. Looking for Lance downfield. Great high point of the football by the senior. Bryce Lance able to elevate over Johnny Wiltshire into Fighting Hawks territory.
This is why Bryce Lance might be one of the best players in the entire country. Plays like this, he's able to separate from the defensive back there, gets his hands up. Wiltshire's got good coverage, but Bryce Lance just uses his athleticism, his height, and is able to pick up that 1st down.
Gain of 26. Lance, an All-American a season ago, broke all kinds of records. 17 receiving touchdowns last year in 16 contests as the Bison won another national title. Lance just named to the East-West Shrine Bowl invite list earlier this week.
Well, if you're Tim Polsek, you get this job, and all of a sudden you see a Bryce Lance, and he knew right away, we got to get this guy the football. And last year you saw the production. He has carried that into this season as well. Just such a threat out there for the Bison.
What's impressive to me is he had 1 career catch prior to last season. Penu on 2nd and short after Payton had picked up 7 on 1st down. Able to fire forward to the 38-yard line. And it would appear enough to move the chains.
And that's why first down is so important. You know, if you're NDSU and you're in 2nd and 3, you'll take that all day, and you're going to have success with that. That's why 1st and 2nd down for North Dakota's defense is so important. Get NDSU into those 3rd and long situations. That gives you a much better chance for success.
Best drive of the game so far for NDSU. Their 3rd crack with the football. Payton again, out wide, caught along the boundary. Lance able to cut back inside and pick up what he can. A gain of 7 to the 31. Bryce Lance, 6'3", 210 pounds. Trey's younger brother, of course, now a senior from Marshall, Minnesota. No one's really been able to slow him down this season. Nobody could slow him down last year, of course. Had that monster 3-touchdown game against South Dakota State in the semifinals. 9 grabs in the title game against Montana State. He's got his team into enemy territory after 15 minutes. It is North Dakota, though, with the early 7-0 advantage. Back to the Alaris after this.
Sanford Health, the proud healthcare partner of North Dakota Athletics.
15 minutes in the books here at the Alaris Center. Number 13, North Dakota, a 7-0 advantage over unbeaten, top-ranked North Dakota State. Pretty even first quarter between these two sides. The one turnover, Cole Payton picked off by Malachi McNeil that set up Sawyer Seidel from 2 yards out. The difference between these two, the Bison stringing together their best drive of the football game now, though, on the 31-yard line of UND. 2nd down and 3 for Payton. DJ Scott in the backfield with him. Bryce Lance has been the star on this drive. 2 grabs for 33 yards, a couple of 3rd down conversions. It is Scott's, the stretch play. Not quite enough to move the chains to the 28.5-yard line. Scott's been a good complimentary back this season for Peno, doing what Peno did last year for Marty Brown, the National Freshman of the Year, who's now at Miami. 3rd and short. Why not? Just let Payton, all 6'3", 215 of him, to lunge forward.
Oh, this was pretty close here. I I think he got enough for that first down. You're right, Alex. When you've got that size and that frame, you get on the ball quick and you get and try and get that sneak. But this is really close. I think they're going to measure this. And NDSU hurried up. They got right on the line. They snapped a quarterback sneak right up the middle, trying to pick up that first down.
That was Malachi McNeil again, coming over the top, the North Dakota captain, pushing Peyton back and preventing this from being a sure thing, no doubt first down. We'll stretch the chains here, and Peyton is going to be a little bit short. So 4th and inches now. An easy decision, though, for Tim Polasek in this Bison offense. Dan Larson's the offensive coordinator. His first season calling the plays, his 7th year with the program. They've got a lot of faith in the guys up front. Fraley and Empey and Tostad in the middle. Bo Johnson and Josh Magan on the outside. It's a unit that have started every game together this season. Can they push the pile and find a way? Bison almost perfect this year on 4th down. 7 for 9 in these situations. North Dakota trying to bow up. Peyton off their left tackle. He's got the first and more. Peyton pushed out inside the 10-yard line. Avery Scott saving the touchdown.
Oh, this is a play that more and more college teams are starting to run. You go up, you pretend you're going to sneak it up the middle, and you bounce it to the outside where defense really doesn't have anybody because everybody's kind of getting ready for that sneak up the middle. Great call by Dan Larson there in NDSU. Get that thing to the outside, let Cole Peyton use his speed, pick up the first down for the Bison.
A gain of 22 on 4th and inches. Hugo's red zone opportunity now for the Bison. 1st and goal from the 7. Peyton. Upended right at the line of scrimmage. Zach Lewis, the senior safety from Chandler, Arizona, trying to make an impact in his first taste of the North Dakota State-North Dakota rivalry.
Once again, safety's getting involved in the run game, coming upfield, and I love the tackle angle there too. Hey, you got to tackle low on Cole Peyton. He'll run you over. He's a big, strong kid. You got to get low. You got to take out the legs to make sure he can't run you over and pick up more yards.
Peyton averaging over 70 yards on the ground this season, 10 touchdowns. He was limited to just 28 yards rushing last week against Youngstown State, his lowest output of the season. Penna with those 15 rushing touchdowns. He had 3 a week ago. Might be an option here. Eric Schmidt, though, does not like what he sees and will call timeouts.
Well, they both were. That's what's funny is both coaches were calling timeout. Now Polisek's pointing over at Coach Schmidt saying he called it, he called it. Neither team liked what they were lined up in.
It appears North Dakota is going to be charged for the timeout. See Tim Polasek and Eric Schmidt, 2 guys that have very similar career paths. Both are in their 3rd stint at their respective school. Schmidt, a defensive guy, of course, linebacker for North Dakota. They both, Polasek, of course, an outstanding quarterback at Concordia in Wisconsin. They both started as position coaches at North Dakota State and North Dakota, then left, came back, became coordinators, left to play FBS football, some big-time programs, Iowa, Washington, etc., and now have come back and are leading these 2 North Dakota schools. So interesting, the coaching profession, how that's kind of the way it works. You do have to pay your dues, try some different things.
And they certainly have. I mean, you look at those guys, they've done their time. They've made sure that they went out, learned other things. Coach Schmidt always talks about other tools in his toolbox. I mean, super important to go out and do that. 2 guys that have a ton of respect for each other as well, and obviously have gone against each other a number of times. You start to learn those, build those relationships as you go on in your career.
Here's Peyton on 2nd and 6. Too high for everybody. Reese Kessel, the redshirt freshman from Fargo South, the intended target. That was Blewett on the coverage again for North Dakota, and now 3rd down and goal. Just like North Dakota State's tight end room has been banged up. Finn Diggins has been out for a couple of weeks, injured against Southern Illinois. Kessel, though, a good option at 6'5". Peyton now faced with a 3rd and goal from outside the 6. Across the middle, overshoots his intended target again. Chris Harris, the senior from Texas, the man he was looking for. Great goal line stand by this Fighting Hawks defense. Eli Ozagon for the field goal.
Well, North Dakota deciding to throw the football on both second and third down there. North Dakota's defense up to the task. All of a sudden, things start to shrink down there in the goal line. Really did a great job defensively, making sure they had everybody locked up, nowhere to go with those footballs.
So Ozagon, the sophomore from Missouri, 10 of 12 this season. He's taken over for Mr. Automatic, Griffin Crosa back there. The 25-yard attempt is up and through. North Dakota State on the board. 2.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. Fighting Hawks able to keep the Bison out of the end zone. They still lead by 4.
Day headquarters. This game on Midco Sports is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
North Dakota State 9-0 this season, 13 straight victories dating back to last year's run in the playoffs to another national title. North Dakota now 6-3 on the year, fresh off their first loss in Valley play. Tim Polassek's team had to survive a game Youngstown State team in which his squad didn't play as good as we've seen them play this season. North Dakota a little similar, struggled with turnovers, special team issues, and yet they still almost came back to win that game in the Dakota Dome against South Dakota. One side was able to overcome an off day, the other was not. Both of these two teams, though, playing at a high level, especially on the defensive side in the opening quarter, Ryan.
Yeah, they really are. And I think if you look at last week for North Dakota, so many things that didn't go their way that were all correctable. And Coach Schmidt talks about how the games are for learning. And a lot of learning in that game, and the fact that you got to make sure you go out and perform or you're going to get beat. And that the Sunday through Friday is just as important as the Saturdays. And I think North Dakota learned a lot from that football game last week.
You either win or you learn. That was the great quote from Coach Schmidt this week as Avery Scott brings the football out to the 29-yard line. North Dakota's offense, their third opportunity. They got inside Bison territory on their first drive, installed right near midfield. Didn't have to go very far on their second opportunity, just from 11 yards out after the McNeil interception. Here is Kaminsky, 22 touchdowns, just 4 picks. Not much room to operate for B.J. Fleming on the jet sweep, maybe a gain of 2.
Boy, North Dakota State's defensive line was not falling for that one either. Decided to go up the middle there, and that gap closed really quick. Again, that defensive line for North Dakota State, so talented, move so well, get off blocks really well too, which make it very difficult to run the football against.
Whistles here prior to the snap. North Dakota another early timeout in this half. Isaac Frichte, the offensive coordinator, did not like what he saw. Jerry Kaminsky again has been pretty dang good this season in his first year as the starter. You see moving up the all-time North Dakota list for single season touchdown passes. He's 2 away from tying the guy that recruited him here to North Dakota, fellow Wisconsin signal caller Danny Freunds. We'll see if Kelby Klosterman's 34 is in reach. North Dakota's certainly capable of that, but Kaminsky again has been in control of this offense since winning a job in fall camp. He's a better athlete, I think, than people give him credit for. A coach's kid, 4-year starter in high school. I think he's really benefited from those 2 seasons that he sat and watched. First Tommy Schuster, then Simon Rumfo last year.
And I think everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to get out there. But I think you're exactly right. I think those 2 years, being able to learn, being able to grow, and even Coach Polsick talked about it this week too, like that there was growth that happened in that time. And Kaminsky's such a football junkie, obviously a football family, guy that just lives and breathes this sport. So to be able to watch for a couple years and then come in and get your opportunity, he has certainly made the most of it.
He finds the Montanak over the middle. Jack Giuliano, the senior defensive end who had dropped into coverage, was there for the stop. It'll set up 3rd and short.
I think it's plays like this, just staying in the system, find the open guy. It doesn't need to be the deep ball every play. And that's what he's really done a nice job of this year, is just finding the open guy, reading the defense, and just marching the ball down the field. And that's where you have success.
3rd down and short. Kaminsky, the keeper. He's got the first across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. Ryan Jones on the stop.
Yeah, just a quarterback draw. Good decision there. Hey, they see all of a sudden the defense widens out. You've got a middle area up the middle there. Good job by Coach Frichte. Called that quarterback draw. Let Kaminsky use his speed, use his size, get up front there and get a first down.
Gain of 10 on 3rd and short for Kaminsky. Getting close to 500 yards on the ground this season, the redshirt sophomore. Here's Hoskins on the sweep arounds. Not a very big man, but so shifty. We've seen that already today. Sailing there for the tackle.
And we had mentioned about first down being important for North Dakota State. Same thing for North Dakota. All of a sudden on a first down there, you get 7 yards. That sets up everything in your playbook. You're able to run whatever you'd like. That first down is extremely important for both these teams. But a nice job again by North Dakota, stretching the ball to the outside, making that defense go east and west.
This is a Bison defense that's allowing under 12 points a game, 2nd best in the country. North Dakota asking some questions early. Here's Charles Langama, the true freshman tailback. Able to find a little bit of room off the left side. Isaac Frichte said we were going to see more of 32 in this contest.
And you know North Dakota likes to have multiple backs. They like to have other guys that can get the ball other than Sawyer Seidel. It's important to be able to have guys that are fresh back there. And Langama's going to be another guy that throughout this season, and you obviously have to be careful with the amount of games, but is a guy that's going to have to continue to have success here for North Dakota, carry that football, be able to give Sawyer Seidel a break.
3rd and short, Langama, the Twin Cities kid, as a flag flies in the secondary. He's got enough for the first down, but he got his face mask tugged on his way. Langama, the true freshman from Maple Grove, former first-team All-State rusher in the state of Minnesota, 2,600 yards last year. Led his team to the 6A state title a season ago as well. Looks like they're going to tack on potentially 15 to the end of this as we wait for the official call.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 men on the field. That penalty will result in first down.
So they won't get him for the face mask, but they will get the Bison for the illegal substitution penalty. Just a good clean tackle up top in the end, but Tim Polisek's defense guilty of the 5-yard variety. Another 3rd down conversion. Kaminsky, the RPO, finding Fleming. Jaquise Alexander was there on the coverage, but not before Fleming picks up 8.
Well, Kaminsky read that perfectly too. He saw Fleming had the stop route. You know, he has the ability to give that football, or if he sees the opening, and he does there, and he's able to get it out to Fleming. Good read by Kaminsky there. Pick up 8 yards on that first down. Haven't seen him throw that today. He's been able to hand it or keep it. Nice job kind of getting that ball spread out.
Quick hitter, the tight ends. Hayden Stay was the man that Kaminsky was looking for, off his hands and incomplete on 2nd and short. We mentioned the Bison tight end room. Aiden Beheimer getting healthy again, played in his first game last week at South Dakota, the big 6'6" sophomore. Nathan Romadka, the talented true freshman, out for a little bit with an upper body injury. They just got Hayden Stay back a couple of weeks ago. It's been a rotating cast back there. 3rd and 2 now from the 29-yard line. Seidel, right up the middle, first down inside the 20 as well. Such a quick burst from Sawyer Seidel to hit the hole. Woolen on the tackle. Fighting Hawks back inside the red zone.
Oh, you said it, Alex. It's that burst. It's when he sticks his foot in the ground and he just gets going. It's so difficult to emulate that in practice. And how do you show that? Because, boy, when he gets going, he's so hard to bring down because he's all of a sudden he's gone. Again, Sawyer Seidel just so explosive back there, so fun to watch. You know, great player for North Dakota.
And a newcomer pick in the Valley a season ago. Seidel was a player that Tim Polasek really coveted, recruited him hard. But Seidel decided to come to Grand Forks instead of going to Wyoming originally and then to Fargo.
And that's what makes this so fun, is you know a lot of the kids, you recruited a lot of the kids, and you build those relationships. And you know, Polasek talked about having a great relationship with Jerry Kaminsky's father, a high school coach, and it's just fun to hear those stories. And that again is why that makes this rivalry so special.
1st and 10 from the 16. Ball a little underthrown. Caden Dennis got his hands on that football at the 15, but could not haul it in. Ball thrown at the feet of the senior receiver from the Kansas City area.
And Dennis tried to get down and get that one. That's a ball that's got to be thrown higher there to give him a chance. In a slant route, trying to get inside the defensive back. And again, Caden Dennis had a good route there. That's a ball that's got to be thrown a little bit higher to give him a chance.
Just the 3rd incompletion on the day for Kaminsky. 61% on the year for the sophomore. 2nd and 10. 5 receiver set for the Fighting Hawks. Kaminsky up top. Fleming. And now the flag flies. Logan Kopp, the Will linebacker, was in coverage against the speedy B.J. Fleming, and there was just enough contact to draw the penalty.
And those are the matchups you want if you're North Dakota. You've got a linebacker on your best receiver. Defense gets hands in there. That's obvious pass interference there. That's where you take your chance. Hey, our guy's going to get it, or we're going to get the call. And on that one, they get the pass interference call. Great play design. See the matchup you want on the outside. Give your guy a chance on that one, and it's a big penalty against North Dakota State.
Sets up UND now. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Fighting Hawks trying to add to this advantage. This drive started on their own 28. That's Ty in motion. Kaminsky will keep this and is bottled up at the 3-yard line. Donovan Woolen, the 6'4" sophomore who played receiver in high school, a long, rangy athlete at the outside position, able to help make the stop.
Kaminsky getting what he can on that. Defense was really good by North Dakota State there. They knew that play was coming. Kaminsky's able to get some yards on it, take a shot at the end. And that's the right read by Kaminsky, though. He's got the guys pulling around. And North Dakota State was right there, but you're able to pick up some yards on 1st down. That's a good job.
Darius Givens in the stop as well. Good to see him back as Seidel gets the 2nd down carry near the goal line, but not in.
Good burst by Seidel. Close on this. You see him go down right on the 1-yard line. And that's where running between the tackles has to be part of your game, and that's what Sawyer Seidel has brought this year. It's being able to be that physical guy down here in the goal line.
3rd down and less than a yard from inside the 1. Movement on the left side. Now the flags will come. Some of those pre-snap penalties were an issue for North Dakota. Last week at South Dakota, they had 10 infractions for 106 yards, by far the most they've had this season. It's normally such a disciplined team over the years, the least penalized team in the Valley last year. Looked like that was... Well, you could pick your guy on the left side of that offensive line that was moving.
False start, offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Yeah, and those are costly penalties. You're in a great position on the 1 yard line. Again, just a little bit too eager to get going on this. NDSU shifts their defensive line. That gets North Dakota's offense to jump on that. And big penalty against North Dakota there.
So instead of 3rd and less than a yard from pay dirt, now it's 3rd and 6. Kaminsky rolling, in trouble, and he will go down. Nathan Staling came in on the stop. There was a penalty flag in the end zone.
I think he's going to be holding against North Dakota State. They were trying to slip Sawyer Seidel out. And multiple flags came out from the back of the end zone there.
Holding, defense number 0. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And I think
Keith Alexander, the one.
I think it was B.J. Fleming in the back that actually is the one that they called it on, because he got, tackled there, and then but Sawyer Seidel was the one they were looking for to slip out. NDSU had it bottled up. Costly penalty there against the Bison.
So instead of not a long field goal try, but a longer field goal try after the stack from Staling, it'll be a fresh set of downs. 1st and goal now, back from the 3 for Kaminsky. Kaminsky will keep and fire. Great defensive play as Fleming was trying to make a beat on that football. Alexander was there, the man who was just penalized for the hold.
But that's not easy to do. This is one-on-one up top. Fleming's got the inside, but right there at the end, able to get the ball knocked out. That's a great defensive play.
Alexander, the junior from Ruskin, Florida. No Jalen Duffy in the secondary. No Jalen Crumby. Alexander, one of the senior members back there now as we go to 2nd and goal from the 3. Kaminsky, the slants. Fleming, incomplete. Crowd wanted a flag as there was a lot of contact as he cut back for the football.
Yeah, the crowd's going to want a flag on this. It's the inside receive here. And you can see kind of a little bit of a jersey grab there, which is what the crowd saw. And B.J. Fleming trying to get to the inside. Looks like the shoulder pads get grabbed a little bit there, but again, no penalty call on that one. Brings up a big 3rd down here for North Dakota.
Little rub play by UND as Ty was just trying to get in front of the corner. Not enough to get the flag either side. 3rd and goal now from the 3. Kaminsky. Beheimer couldn't hang on. Pass was a little too far in front of him. So just as North Dakota was stopped, or North Dakota State was stopped, down on a 1st and goal situation, now North Dakota is by the Bison defense.
Oh, and it looked just like a little bit too far there and wasn't able to break his route out to be able to get that. Oh, that's a big stop for North Dakota State there if you can hold it UND to 3 points here.
So now a 20-yard field goal try for Keaton Loffman, 2 for 2 on the season. He's made from 22 and 29 this year. Simon Rumfo, the backup quarterback, the holder. And Loffman does not make it, wide to the left. The Bison defense able to step up. North Dakota held off the scoreboard. Just outside that left upright, 7-3. Jim Kleinsasser recognized on his induction into the National Football Foundation and College Football Hall of Fame. Two-time All-American from nearby Carrington, North Dakota. He was a problem in the late 90s for defenses in the North Central Conference. Went on, of course, to have a fantastic career with the Vikings in the NFL. He had 10 receiving touchdowns. 3 of them came against the Bison in one game, in a memorable game back in the late 90s. As special as it gets, Big Jim.
Yeah, probably the best player to ever play at North Dakota. And I thought Coach Schmidt said it perfectly. He walked in and it was like, this guy's just different, a different type of athlete. But another compliment was he could play in any era. It didn't matter what year it was. He could play right now and be successful. Just a different type of athlete.
North Dakota State's offense back on the field after their defense stepped up with a massive stop. Bryce Lance improvising a bit as Peyton finds his main target all the way out to the 48-yard line, a gain of 28 after UND just missed a 20-yard field goal.
Well, Bryce Lance comes all the way across here. You're going to see him on the bottom of your screen, continues on his route. He's able to get his foot down and be able to make that catch. That's a big gain for North Dakota State.
3 grabs now for 61 yards for Lance. Barika Penu. The Bison rushing attack yet to really get going today. Penu finding a little space up the middle, a pickup of 4 into UND territory.
North Dakota has to be able to continue to do that. They got to be able to stop that running game for North Dakota State. Be able to make sure you bottle that part up and continue to play well on the back end. Bryce Lance has made some unbelievable plays today. That's what he does. Take away this bread and butter of being able to run the football if you're North Dakota. Done a nice job so far.
Avery Scott drawing that assignment to the bottom of your screen against Lance on 2nd and 6. Penu on the stretch, makes the first man miss, and he's in open space. Barika Penu inside the 30. Zach Lewis with the tackle.
Caden Vig gets through here, but again, you're not going to get Barika Penu down with one hand or one arm. You got to have your whole body or he's going to make you miss like he does there, and gets a big gain for North Dakota State.
You see the numbers this season, one of the most effective running backs in the FCS this year. He was a great complimentary back to Marty Brown last season. He still ran for nearly 800 yards, 7 touchdowns for the former West Fargo Cheyenne star. It's his backfield now, though. Penalty flags fly. It's going to be a false start against the visitors on 1st and 10.
False start, offense number 5. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Bryce Lance that time moving before the snap.
Going back to what you're seeing, Alex, when you're the guy now in the backfield and it's your job, that's a different mentality, that's a different mindset, and he has been a guy this year that has embraced that role and wanted to be the dude, and he certainly has done a nice job of that. Very talented back for the Bison.
First down and 15 now for Peyton and this Bison offense. Cole Peyton getting the edge, hurdling a man inside the 20 and steps out of bounds. You talk about an athlete. Cole Peyton is 6'3", 220. Oh.
Wow.
Now, John Martin's only 5'10", but still.
We talked earlier about that. You got to tackle Cole Peyton low. You got to take his legs out. Well, now when he says, okay, I know where you're going on this, and I'm going to hurdle you and use my athleticism. Talk about a special athlete for North Dakota State. Cole Peyton showing off what he can do.
The former Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year. He's had to wait a long time for this opportunity. The number 2 behind Cam Miller for the last 3 years. He'll hand off to DJ Scott this time on 2nd and 4, and he's going no place. North Dakota's defense stepping up. Logan Eckhart in there along with others in black and silver and Kelly Green.
Just nowhere to go on that running play, too. North Dakota's defensive line just was not going to give up any ground, and there was nowhere, no gap, no hole to run through. Nice job by North Dakota's defensive front.
Loss of 1. 3rd down and a long 4. Bison just 2 of 6 on 3rd down today, as you see there. They need the 16 to move the chains. Lance in the slot to Peyton's right, Penu in the backfields. Pocket breaks down, Peyton improvising. Michael Devereaux stepping up. Cole Payton still on his feet. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the marker.
Oh, and this is so difficult to do if you're North Dakota. They're able to stay assignment sharp in coverage because Cole Payton's looking downfield. He's still fighting. He's still looking for his receivers. Nobody there. And then the pursuit for North Dakota is really good. Being able to get Cole Payton out before that first down was picked up with his legs.
Eli Ozick now on for a 38-yard field goal attempt. He made from 25 earlier today. Plenty of leg, and right down the middle for Ozick, who improves to 12 for 14 on the season and gets the Bison back within one. 7-6 with 2:28 to go in the first half. Time, the latest 7:01 feature featuring the North Dakota wideouts. Get a chance to chat with the likes of BJ Fleming, Corey Ty as well, plus highlights and stats from an entertaining opening 30 minutes here at the Alaris Center. We'll look around the rest of the valley as well. Much on the line today in meeting number 118 all time between these old foes. Alex Heinert, Ryan Gosowski here with you along with our Midcoast Sports crew. North Dakota State. They've split the last two meetings, each winning at home. It has been a bit of a stalemate here today. Both sides have moved the football well inside the 20s. Each of their defenses has bowed up when they've gotten near the goal line. 7-6 our score. Sawyer Seidel, a short touchdown after a Malachi McNeil interception. A couple of field goals from Eli Ozick. That's been our scoring so far today. This kick from Ozick will sail beyond Seidel as we listen to the good people at Sanford Health.
Building a career at Sanford Health is about even more than great pay and comprehensive benefits.
To play in this first half, Jerry Kaminsky in this Fighting Hawks offense, which has moved the ball efficiently today against North Dakota State, has plenty of time. One timeout remaining, plus the 2-minute timeout to get points on the board before the half. As this drive will not start the way they were looking for, though. Not a lot of space for Kaminsky off the edge. Kelton McCaslin was there along with Logan Kopp. No gain on the play. And that will be the last play before the 2-minute timeout. We'll see how much that stop from this Bison defense changes the North Dakota thinking. Final two of the first half coming up after this break. Fighting Hawks up by 1, faced with a 2nd and 10 from their own 25 when we come back.
Perkins Restaurants, the comfort you crave.
2 minutes to go in the first half between North Dakota and North Dakota State. 1-point ball game. Fighting Hawks with the football. This is Jared Kaminsky's 4th time he's had the ball in this half. Each of the previous 3 have seen UND cross the 50, and yet they just have 7 points to show for it. What can they do here on 2nd and 10? Pass caught right at the 30. Met immediately this time by Talon Edey, the redshirt freshman, stepping up at free safety today in place of Jalen Crumby. Crumby and Duffy, by the way, not expected to be out long-term for the Bison in their secondary.
Well, Kaminsky just getting the ball out there to Fleming. And you're hoping your guy can make somebody miss there and turn upfield, but North Dakota State was right there. NDC will burn a timeout here now, stop the clock.
Carlton Littlejohn in the middle of that huddle. 2nd season back with the Bison. Of course, an outstanding player for this program on the defensive side in the 2010s. First year as the special teams coordinator, but also coaches the defensive ends in Fargo. And this is a big play. 3rd down and 5. Bison have 2 timeouts remaining. North Dakota need the 35-yard line to extend the drive. UND will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. Remember, the Fighting Hawks won the toss and deferred. They would love to keep this ball in their possession, though, whether it results in points or not, to see out this half with this 7-6 advantage against the #1 team in the nation. 4-receiver set for Kaminsky. Seidel the tailback. Bison showing pressure. That's Woolen creeping up to the line of scrimmage. They'll rush 4. Kaminsky with time. His receiver just couldn't get turned around. That was Seidel. He and Kaminsky not on the same page. And it'll set up 4th down. Bison defense forcing the 3 and out.
Yeah, Seidel just and Kaminsky not on the same page here. Another important thing is obviously that's an incomplete pass. Clock stops. North Dakota State still has 2 timeouts here as well. That's a big play there for North Dakota State to get that clock stopped.
Kaminsky now 7 of 15 in this first half for 54 yards. Silvernail on. The protection unit does their job. Remember, he had a punt blocked last week at South Dakota. He sends Williams back to the 23-yard line, and that's where Cole Payton in this offense will take over. This football game, the first of 2 in a rivalry series today. We'll head to the hardwood over at the Betty later this evening. North Dakota State at 6 o'clock. First serve between the Bison and the Fighting Hawks. Some of the play starting to wind down. A big one, though, as both of those teams fight for seeding. North Dakota needs a couple more wins to get themselves back into the top 6 in the Summit League tournament picture. 6 o'clock tonight live on Midco Sports and Midco Sports Plus. Cole Payton in this Bison offense kept out of the end zone in this first half, but they have another shot now. 76 yards away from pay dirt, 1 timeout and 1:42 to go in this first half. It'll start with Penu up the middle. There is no room to run for Barika Penu. That's his 9th carry of the first half. He's at 39 yards today.
And once again, you'll see the defensive line for North Dakota holding their own, not getting pushed down, defeating double teams, getting a nice stop there.
Payton now stepping up, has the tight end across the middle. That's Williams, knifed down right at the 35-yard line by Lewis. Carson Williams, the 6'4 senior from Marshalltown, Iowa. Enough to move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 36. Payton with time again. Now Vig breaks contain. Payton will turn and run. He'll get to the 40-yard line. Montre Samuels Parker there for the stop, and the Bison will take their 2nd time out of the half with 1:07 to go.
And you can see the thing with Cole Payton, his eyes are always downfield. He's always looking for his receivers. He never takes his eyes off them. That's what makes him so dangerous. Then plays like that, he's able to just get outside the pocket, be able to pick up some yards. And nice job continuing to look downfield for his receivers. But the Fighting Hawks defenders have done a nice job staying on those receivers and those type of scramble plays.
Some moment ago, Joe Bashauner, in his first season as the quarterbacks coach for NDSU, having a conversation with Payton. Tim Volasek has a lot of trust in his senior quarterback. Peyton's had to overcome a lot again. Back up for Cam Miller, which was the right choice. Miller, of course, had a pretty good collegiate career, now playing with the Raiders. He tore his labrum last year, did Cole Peyton, in that South Dakota State game. Missed the final 8 games of the regular season and postseason. He's come back stronger this year now as the de facto #1. He's been fantastic under center. He's faced with 2nd and 6 now. Raja Nelson got a hand on that football but could not haul it in. Nelson, such a dependable target over the last 6 years for this North Dakota State offense, couldn't make the grab here.
And I think that's what's made Bryce Lance so dangerous too, is you still have Raja Nelson that you could throw the football to, who's an excellent receiver. And they've got guys on the outside they really feel like they can get the ball to. A little bit overthrown on that one by Cole Peyton. And Raja Nelson's been a guy for North Dakota State that has done a terrific job throughout his whole career.
3rd down and 6 now. Bison need the 46. 60 seconds left in the half. Penny on the swing. Able to break one tackle. McNeil, though, with the ankle stop on the NDSU senior. He's going to be a couple yards shy of the 1st down. There's an injured North Dakota player in the Bison backfields. That's a huge tackle by McNeil because Penny had the 1st and more if he doesn't make it.
I think that's Antonio Blewett is who it is, and he comes up and you can almost see, tried to make that tackle before the block could get there. The leg kind of got twisted underneath him there, and we talked about how important Antonio Blewett has been to this secondary, and you hate to see anybody go down, but a kid like that who's really fought through a lot.
Left side of your screen, number 22. That's Bo Johnson, the big 6'6", 300-pound sophomore left tackle that was making the block, and his weight came down on the left leg of the junior cornerback.
Due to the injury to the defensive player, there is a 10-second subtraction option available. North Dakota State has selected that option. North Dakota has taken their 3rd and final charge time out of the half to avoid the subtraction. It'll be 4th down.
Good explanation there from Jason Perkins. Because, again, North Dakota State did not get the 1st. It'll be 4th and 2 with 50 seconds left. Here's Blewett again. He's been such a bright spot for this team in the secondary. Fought for time last year as a sophomore. Made some big plays, really, in his 1st year as a big integral part on the defensive side, both last year and this. As we talked about, Bennett Walker, their #1 cornerback who came over from San Diego State with Eric Schmidt, has not played since the Portland State game back in week #2. He's been battling with a lower body injury. He is suited up, and he's kind of in the defensive huddle, number 10. But the fact that they've been out without him, and now potentially with Blewett going down, gets real thin in the cornerback room for this North Dakota side that was thin at that position to begin with. I see the air cast being put on. This place has had so much life, so much energy, so much juice this afternoon. You could hear a pin drop in this place now as Antonio Blewett is attended to.
And you always hate to see that. And again, I remember watching that Montana game, and all of a sudden Blewett is just out there making plays, and he has stepped up for this team and has just continued to be that guy. And teams have thrown at him, and he's been up for the challenge. And you just hate to see these type of injuries, and you just pray for that young man that everything's going to be all right there, and hopefully precaution here. And he's a tough kid.
Antonio up on his feet. And you never want to see it. Certainly not in a rivalry game like this. I think he's been looking forward to this since last year's North Dakota State game. UND teammates coming over to show their respect for one of their own. So Blewett off to the sidelines. He'll be attended to. North Dakota State faced with a 4th and 2. 50 seconds left in the half. Zach Lewis retreating, ready to receive this punt. Aaron Bickerton had a boomer of over 60 yards in his only previous punt of the half. But it will be the Bison offense who will take the field out of the timeouts. So 4th and 2 from the 44. They need 2 yards. See what Dan Larson and this offense have in mind. Cole Payton, as this Alara Center crowd makes some noise. Plenty of time left on the play clock. See if they're just trying to draw the Fighting Hawks offside. Trent Fraley hanging on to the football. He is not going to snap this. Would have been quite the gambit on 4th and 2 from midfield to go for this down one in this situation. Everybody holds their water, though. So the Bison will be called for delay of game. Or perhaps they took the timeout here. Oh, there's the delay of game call. I mean, why not? You might get 5 free yards and a first down.
Well, a nice job by North Dakota because they were scrambling a little bit. Zach Lewis was already back for punt, and to hold your water there and not go off sides was a good job by North Dakota. But hey, worth a shot for North Dakota State, like you said. See if you can get North Dakota drawn off. Another penalty here.
It's going to be a false start against the Bison again, so they'll back up 5 more.
False start. Offense number 48. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
That was the long snapper, Caleb Bowers, guilty of a flinch. So that's now 10 free yards for this Fighting Hawks offense. UND does not have any timeouts. Lewis, though, is a fearless return man and has been dangerous this season. Bickerton, another spiraling punt that sends Lewis back to the 12-yard line. Zach Lewis breaking through the first level. Lewis to the 38-yard line before he's brought down. 38 seconds to go now in the half. Perhaps a chance for the Fighting Hawks to get points before the interval. They do not have their first choice kicker, though, which does change the equation a bit.
It does, and that's where it's really important, too, is situations like this where all of a sudden the yards you got to get to are different because you have a different kicker out there. Nice job by Zach Lewis. Like you said, he is not afraid to ever return a punt. Does a nice job of getting yards on that one. Special teams continues to be important. Nice return there for North Dakota.
28-yard run back officially from Lewis. Kaminsky 1st and 10 from the 38. No timeouts for UND. Kaminsky across the middle, good drive starter, finding Dennis into Bison territory. Clock will stop as the chains reset. First catch of the day for the senior wideout from KC. 30 seconds left in the half. Kaminsky flushed out. He's got options. Right off the hands of DeMontenac in front of the North Dakota sideline. Clock stops with 23 ticks to go in the first half.
Nice job by North Dakota getting up. They were able to snap that ball with 1 second had gone from the play clock, which was just a great job of being efficient on that one. Now the clock stops for them. Able to kind of settle in here, get a good play call in.
Zach Vanderpool, the defensive tackle, was trying to chase Kaminsky down. 2nd and 10 now with 23 seconds remaining in the first half. Late blitz coming. Kaminsky will step up and slide down. Clock will run. North Dakota cannot stop the clock. 14 seconds and counting left in this first half. 3rd down and long. Kaminsky down the sideline just throws this away. Good blitz pickup there from Seidel to prevent Logan Kopp a free shot on his quarterback. Officially 4th down and 9 now from the 45. 6 seconds left. You could just take a shot into the end zone here.
Well, Dang's coming into the game. I think you're probably right on that, Alex. Get your big guys over there on one side. Make sure that 6 seconds runs and give yourself a chance here.
Trips to the right for Kaminsky. 5 on the play clock, 6 left in the half. 4th down, pressure coming. Kaminsky eludes it, and he's just going to walk out of bounds, and North Dakota will take this 1-point lead into the half. UND will get the football to start the 3rd quarter in what has been an even opening 30 minutes of football between these two old rivals. North Dakota State. The defense is stepping up, especially when it's mattered most. It's the Fighting Hawks with the 1-point edge after the first half of football here at the Alerus Center. Back to Grand Forks on Midco Sports right after this. Expected North Dakota with a 1-point advantage over North Dakota State through 30 minutes of football in the 118th meeting all time between these two old North Central Conference rivals. Over the course of this season, Jerry Kaminsky has not been shy about spreading the football around to a variety of pass catchers. In total, 19 different Fighting Hawks have a catch this season, including 9 in Malik Bradshaw's receivers room. That unit, led by B.J. Fleming and Corey Ty, are in focus in this week's installment of the 701.
B.J. Fleming, he's very explosive, very twitchy. He can go out there and make an explosive play at any time in the game. So he's somebody that you shouldn't overlook and a great dynamic weapon for the receiver room.
Kaminsky will fire. Fleming diving at the back of the end zone. Touchdown!
I've enjoyed it so far. I love it. I love the facilities, coaching staff. We're really building a culture here, a big culture here, and I love the guys on the team. They push me and other players on the team to be better each and every day.
He also does a really good job of using his past experiences at his other schools and in high school, bringing it here and helping the younger guys going like, hey, this is how I do it. You might do it a different way, but this is how the blueprint of how we need to get things done.
Corey where he's still growing. He bring a lot of juice, you know. He's a big energy guy. He's going to make a play on the field when we need him to. He's going to be a good player in the future, for sure.
I just think that working through camp, you know, just not really worrying about like depth charts and stuff like that, just being able to just focus on my role, just understanding my role.
Go! Good, finish! Good!
Whatever the coaches need me to do, be in my role, be myself.
Corey's an interesting guy where he's just got God-given speed. You know, he's just a freak athlete. And he played a little bit before I got here last year, and he's stepping more into that role.
Go! Good. Stay tight, finish the jump, finish good.
Coach Frichty, our offensive coordinator, he used to coach at Winona with the same role when I was coaching running backs at Augustana. And he and I met pregame a few times and kind of chopped it up. And then last off season, around Christmas time, he hit me up and said, hey, we got an opening here. I'd love to have you here. And so I did the whole interview process, and I got here early January.
He's a good coach, a good guy. You know, he's going to always throw in some jokes in there, make the meetings fun. He's getting smarter, learning our playbook as well as, you know, he just got here. He's a good guy.
I'm going to get in my stance. Doesn't matter what foot I got up. I'm going. I'm striking the bag. But Keegan's also going to strike me with the bag, too, simulating a fist fight.
The way I learned football when I was playing was I always wanted to know the why behind things. So I like to explain the why behind we do things. It's like, hey, we're aligning here because we want to try to make this look like a previous play, or we want to make this look like another play.
I want to be tight. I don't want to have hands out here because then it's easier to throw by.
I feel like if I explain why we're doing things, it helps the kids kind of click a little bit more in the brain.
Coach Bradshaw, he's awesome, you know. He's very personable. He brings fun in the football and just in the meeting rooms, you know, just he's very personable.
Set, go. Good. Fight back.
It's a really good, tight-knit group. We've got guys who are just wanting to see the other person win. And obviously everybody wants the ball, and you know, Jerry does a really good job of distributing the ball. But it's like, hey, if I'm on the field and I just saw my buddy get a 40-yard catch, like, hey, I'm going crazy, and that's the whole room. So it's a really good group to work with.
Good stuff from our 701 crew this week. BJ Fleming right now leading North Dakota in receiving with 3 grabs for 31 yards in that first half. It's been both defenses, though, that have been the story in the opening 30 minutes. North Dakota with just the 1 touchdown. The Bison held out of the end zone. We'll break it down with Ryan right after this.
all the extra conditioning stuff that we do during the winter season. Like, it's not for August and September. It's for October, November, and December. Like, that's why you do those things. And we talk a lot about being a process-oriented outfit, and the process is what prepares you, for days like this.
Halftime continues here at the Alaris Center. Number 13, North Dakota, trying to get back on track after last week's loss at USD. Up by 1 over unbeaten number 1 North Dakota State, who, if a win today would mean they would be Missouri Valley Football Conference champions outright. Alex Sennett, Ryan Gosowski with you. A defensive battle through the opening 30 minutes. Both of these defenses just a little bit ahead of the offense so far.
They are. I look at these defenses right now, and especially North Dakota, to be able to really stop that running game for North Dakota State. That really has changed a lot of that first half play calling for North Dakota State. But boy, those defenses are really not giving up much to those offenses too. And it's been fun to watch for both sides. The halftime adjustments are always what's interesting too, to see what these two teams come out second half and look like.
And both the Bison and the Fighting Hawks really bowing up inside the red zone. As we look at the first half highlights, one of the big plays of this game was made by the Fighting Hawks defense on a 3rd and 10 on NDSU's second offensive possession. Big pick of Cole Payton by Malachi McNeil.
Yeah, huge play. Good job staying back in the zone too, keeping your eyes on the quarterback. Cole Payton kind of looked that one down, and right here you see Malachi jump in front of this pass, pick it off, sets up North Dakota in great field position.
Just 2 plays later, as you see McNeil, the senior captain, his first career pick. Sawyer Seidel able to plunge in from just 2 yards out to get North Dakota on the board late in the first.
And that push by the offensive line too. I think that's been so important to North Dakota's success, being able to run the football. Has been that offensive line. Great showing right there to get Seidel in for the touchdown.
After that score, North Dakota State would respond. Their offense started to come to life. Cole Payton finding Bryce Lance. That was the theme in that first half.
That was a huge 3rd down play right there too. And North Dakota had all the momentum. Finds Bryce Lance. Bryce makes a terrific play like he always does and sets him up for a big field goal here.
Lance with 3 catches for 61 yards in the opening 30 minutes. Eli Ozick, that was a 24-yarder to make it 7-3. The Bison running game slowly starting to gain some momentum. Barika Penu bottled up for much of that first half, but he and Cole Payton have combined to rush for 93 yards on 20 carries. Payton here with this highlight play. 22 yards down the sideline. That set up a little longer try from Ozick from 38, which was good. NDSU made both of their field goal attempts. North Dakota missed theirs from 20 yards out. As we look at the total stats, the Bison have had the better in terms of total yards. UND, though, will be thrilled to have a 2 of 8 line for the Bison on 3rd down, a position where they have been fantastic all season.
Yeah, and that's so important, too. And again, 1st and 2nd down becomes so important to not let them have 3rd and manageable. You got to keep North Dakota State in 3rd and long, or they're just going to beat you all day if you give them 3rd and short. North Dakota's done a really good job in that down.
If you were looking at an adjustment, again, it feels like the Bison have moved the football, just haven't gotten into the end zone. North Dakota State kind of the same way. What would you like to see out of these two offenses when they get inside the 20?
I think if you're North Dakota, you've been in position. You've just got to finish. You've got to get points on the board. They've been able to move the football on North Dakota State, but it comes down to finishing. And if you're North Dakota State, I think you've got to continue to try and run the football. That's your bread and butter. That's your meat and potatoes, is running the football. North Dakota's done a nice job kind of stopping that side. They got to continue to keep that. And Cole Payton using his legs is always dangerous.
He's been fun to watch here in the opening 30 minutes. As has Sawyer Seidel, as has, again, both of these defenses. So plenty of football left, of course. Just a 1-point football game after 30 minutes between these two old foes, with a Missouri Valley Football Conference championship on the line. We're going to hear from North Dakota's head coach, Eric Schmidt, here in just a little bit. We'll get his thoughts before the second half kick, which North Dakota will receive. That's all coming your way next on Midcoast Sports here from the Alaris Center. point separating these two schools, located just 70 miles apart here in northeastern North Dakota. We're proud to be joined now on the sideline by first-year head coach for North Dakota, Eric Schmitz.
Coach Schmidt, great first half. I think two really good defenses going at each other right now. What have you seen you've liked from your defense? What do you want to see in this second half to continue the success?
Well, I think the red zone obviously has been good. The forced field goals down there, I think, is huge, and our guys have done a great job of executing. We got to continue to try to limit explosive plays. Obviously, 5's a really good player, and a lot of their offense right now is just, you know what I mean, things break down, and then 9 goes and scrambles around and makes plays, and that's probably been, you know, our biggest headache here so far. And we knew that going in. It's tough playing defensive back when the plays are going on for, you know, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Like, that's a hard cover at times. So we got to do a better job up front and making sure that we squeeze the air out of that and make him throw from the bottom of a well.
Coach, how do you feel your team has done handling the emotion and the atmosphere of this one so far?
I think good. I mean, you know, now once you get out of the, you know, the first few plays off of it, it's normal football, I feel like. So I think our guys are doing a good job there. I think, you know, the matchups at the line of scrimmage and things like that have been good. So we just got to continue to keep proving ourselves, all right, every single snap, and just keep going 1-0 here.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Eric Schmidt focused on going 1-0 in this second half. His team has a 1-point advantage at the break. Around the rest of the Valley, this game has not had much offense. A lot of offense going on in Terre Haute. 52 points put up by Illinois State as they creep closer to their 7th win of the campaign. They should comfortably be in the postseason. Good battle in Youngstown. DJ Williams with 3 touchdowns in the first half for Southern Illinois. Murray State trying to get their first win of the season, all knotted up against Todd Stepsis in Northern Iowa. Kind of a big one later today down at South Dakota. SDSU trying to get back on track after back-to-back defeats. Just goes to show any week in the Valley, anything can happen, right?
Certainly can. You know, obviously you look at South Dakota, big win. How does SDSU respond? You know, I think this is going to be an important game for both those programs to see where the rest of their season is going to take them.
It's a must-win for USD as they try and get back into the playoff picture. Last week's win over North Dakota certainly did them a world of good. If they can beat the Jackrabbits, the Jacks might be in trouble about trying to make the field when we move forward into Thanksgiving weekend. Stick around. Second half action from the rivalry game in North Dakota continues next here on Midco Sports. In the northern Red River Valley, number 13, North Dakota, trying to win their second game over the Bison in this building in the last 3 years. They have a 1-point advantage over the top-ranked team in the country at the half. These two quarterbacks who have been so good over the course of the season perhaps had moments in that first half where you maybe saw the moment become a little bit big. Peyton and Kaminsky, though, capable of great.
And I think, again, it comes back to those defenses, too. I mean, they're just not giving them much. And I think it's really important, like Coach Schmidt said, when those plays are 9, 10, that's super hard to stay in coverage. UND's done a pretty good job of that, but again, eventually something's going to open up, and that's where North Dakota State has had a lot of that success. Same thing, I think, for Jerry Kaminsky is there's been a couple throws there that he'd like to have back, but a lot of that comes back to North Dakota State's defense and the job that they're doing.
Not very often have Peyton and Kaminsky both been at or below 50% through a half this season. Both very capable, leading their offenses to great things. We'll see how each responds in the second half against these outstanding defenses. North Dakota will receive the opening kick in the second half. Sawyer Seidel and Avery Scott back on their goal line, awaiting the offering from Eli Ozick, who's got all the Bison points so far in this contest. End over end from the sophomore, and we are underway with that kick out the back of the end zone. So Kaminsky in this Fighting Hawks offense will take over 1st and 10 from the 25. And just like North Dakota State, they moved the ball effectively at times. They will rue 6 shots inside the 6 that came away with nothing at one point in that second quarter. What can they do here on this opening drive? Where do you want to see this team try and establish something to start the third quarter?
Well, I think they got to continue to be able to run in between the tackles, and that's where they've been able to have maybe a little bit more success than I guess I thought coming into this game. But, you know, plays like this, too, where they're able to get Seidel through the middle. He's able to make a couple guys miss. They've had a lot of success with that. But they got to be able to continue to run the football, continue to keep plays alive. But when they get down, they got to get points on the board. And I think that's probably the one frustration at half there was, you know, when we get in those kind of situations, we got to get some points on the board.
Toby Anene, the junior from Cottage Grove, in on the stop, preventing Seidel from getting into the second level, a gain of 2 for the sophomore tailback. Demontanak in motion. Seidel will keep up the middle, able to spin and grind to the 30-yard line.
But just not much here for Seidel, that defensive line for North Dakota State. Getting on him, he's able to get, you know, a couple 3 yards there, but again, now you're at a 3rd and 5 here. In good spot offensively, but you got to make sure you continue to be able to keep these drives alive. This is a big thing coming out of half here, is you don't want to go 3 and out to start this thing off.
Fighting Hawks 4 of 8 in that first half on 3rd down. Kaminsky in trouble. There is a penalty flag at midfield. Jerry, though, stops right at the 30-yard line. McCaslin, once again, the junior from Illinois, making the stop. There's a penalty also right at the line of scrimmage as well. One at the 45 and one at the 30. We'll see if these could be offsetting penalties depending on what the situation is. Bison had 6 penalties in that first half for 38 yards. Just the 2 infractions for North Dakota for 8.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the defense. Offside, defense number 24 in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Holding, defense number 52. 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic, 1st down.
So Nathaniel Staling, North Dakota State's leading tackler, guilty of the hold downfields. So UND converts on that 3rd down by a penalty. Fresh set for Kaminsky in this Fighting Hawks offense. It's the Demontanak who's got 3 catches in this game, shifting around. Seidel trying to bounce outside and met in the backfield. Talon Edey. Oh, penalty flags fly here. A little celebration from the redshirt freshman safety. His older brother Tyree, a great player on the hardwood for North Dakota State a couple of seasons back. Younger bro letting the emotions get to him here after a great stop that would have resulted in 2nd and long.
Well, did a great job coming up, filling in the run game.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 43. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
So it's Logan Kopp with an unnecessary roughness penalty. So Polasek can't believe it.
Well, Seidel gets tackled, and you'll see here at the end, you know, he's down right here, and then the play, you can see, kind of continues on and gets the hit, and that's where the 15-yard penalty comes in, and that's back-to-back costly penalties for North Dakota State right there. Something you don't see out of them very often.
That's a tough one on Kopp that time against Seidel, trying to gain extra yards. Apologies to Edey. I didn't think he had done much there with just the fist pump to earn a personal foul for taunting. Just because I didn't think there was any way that was going to be a personal foul for unnecessary roughness, but North Dakota will take it and they will advance now into Bison territory. Seidel with a gain of 4 on 1st and 10. And penalty now is Buxa, the center, just shifted backward before he snapped the football.
False start, offense number 62, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Yeah, North Dakota State's doing a really good job shifting their defensive line, you know, making it, you almost think again as an offensive line where you got to block now compared to where it was when they first lined up. And that shift is getting North Dakota to, you know, sometimes false start on that. So, again, good job by North Dakota State's defense changing up their look defensively up front, and another penalty against North Dakota on that shift.
So instead of 2nd and 6, now 2nd and 11. Both teams with some penalty issues to start this third quarter. Here is Seidel again on the read play. Able to drag Woolen for a couple of yards to the 44. He's able to get the penalty yards back, but it'll be 3rd and 7.
And you can see North Dakota this drive, they are establishing their run. They are going to stick with it right here, trying to set something up here, but they're running in between the tackles, really trying to make sure that they continue this running game.
72 yards on the ground for North Dakota today. The Bison second best in the Valley at stopping the rush, behind only North Dakota in the conference. Kaminsky needs the 37-yard line to keep the drive going. It'll be Seidel again. Bison ready for it. The sophomore tailback able to bounce outside and get across the 40. That almost felt like you've got 2 downs to get this type of a play. Seidel gets close.
Yeah, it certainly did, Alex. I think with that play, you're exactly right. You get yourself into a position here where you're in a good spot on 4th down, and this is where you got to show your team you believe in them. Take some chances here.
It's 4th and a long 2. Offense on the field for UND, leading by 1. First drive of the second half. Kaminsky keeping it himself, and he's got the first down. Darius Gibbons, who was banged up early in this contest, there on the stop. Kaminsky calls his own number and moves the chains.
Terrific fake on this, because I think everybody, you can see Seidel even gets tackled on that because they thought he had the ball, and Kaminsky keeps it on that play. Really nice play design. Good, smart heads-up play by Jared Kaminsky to keep that football and get enough for a first down.
On first down, that is Seidel again. Givens able to hog tie him there at the 31-yard line.
Just continuing to churn up yards here. 3 yards there on the first down. Seidel getting those hard yards there. Continuing to run the football up the middle on North Dakota State.
Every play on this drive has been a run so far out of the half from Isaac Frichte, the second-year offensive coordinator, former Minnesota Viking receiver. He's played in some big rivalry games. He said it was fun playing against the Badgers when I played for the Golden Gophers, although we never beat them. Kaminsky this time swallowed up. That's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. They weren't buying the jet action this time.
Well, they had it taken care of, too. I mean, even if Hoskins gets that football, North Dakota State was right there. Talk about being gap sound and being assignment sharp for North Dakota State. Absolutely nowhere to go with that football. Great defensive stop there for NDSU.
This prize in front has been good all day. Great to see 64 out there. Jackson Dutenheffer suffered a neck injury against Indiana State a couple of weeks ago, back on the 18th of October. Returns to play last week after being carted off in that game against the Sycamores. A Mandan kid. Eric Schmidt grew up not too far away from the family home of the Dutenheffers in Mandan. Now going up against their old neighbors is North Dakota able to convert on 3rd and 8. Hayden Stay, the junior tight ends, able to move the sticks.
Yeah, Hayden Stay from the tight end spot just finds the area in the middle of the defense there. Jared Kaminsky's able to hit him in between the safety and the linebacker. You see number 40 just sit down there, knows where he needs to get for a first down. Nice job by Hayden Stay and a good delivery by Kaminsky.
Just the 5th catch of the season for the Princeton, Minnesota native. 1st and 10 now from the 21. Lots of movement again from North Dakota. Another pre-snap penalty against the Fighting Hawks. A couple of those creeping into their game in this third quarter. .9:04 to go in the third. First drive of the half. UND leading by 1 and moving the ball down the fields.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. First out.
And they're going backwards here. You could have picked either Liam Beecher. I think you could have picked Hayden Stay as well. A couple of Fighting Hawks moving.
But you could see that shift on the replay. I mean, that's what's getting North Dakota to jump, is they're seeing movement and then they're going. Again, defense has every right to shift. It's nothing they're doing that's not legal by any means, but it's getting North Dakota to jump because they're seeing that movement. Again, nice job by the defensive line for North Dakota State.
So 1st and 15. This is Hoskins. North Dakota trying to get number 13 in space. Covered up well on the perimeter by the Bison secondary. Woolen in on the tackle once again after a gain of just 3.
Plays like this, you're just trying to get that yardage back, try and get back to where you were, and not able to get quite 5 yards, but and you're able to get 3 on that and just try and get it out to your playmaker, let him make something happen.
Hoskins busy today. That's his 2nd catch. He's had a couple of rushes as well. More of a peripheral figure for the opening 9 weeks of the season for UND. On 2nd and 12, Kaminsky dropped. That was Kopp in the backfields. No place to go with the football for Jerry Kaminsky, and the senior Will linebacker comes up with the sack.
Well, Kaminsky's got a pocket there, but it closes quick. That defensive line, linebackers coming up. And Kaminsky tries to run, but at the last second, he's too late. Defense is right there on him. Pursuit for North Dakota State got there. Backs up North Dakota even more here.
It's the 3rd sack of the day for the Bison. North Dakota had only allowed 8 sacks all season coming into today. 3rd down and 15. UND needs to get to the 11 to move the chains. Kaminsky with time. Seidel the catch across the middle. Cannot spin away from Woolen. He does get down to the 15 though, which will set up 4th and 4. Kenton Loffman did miss a short field goal earlier today as Nate DeMontanak is a little shaken up on the play and requires attention.
Getting the ball out to Seidel there, just trying to make something happen.
We're going to step away as DeMontanak is attended to. 4th and 4 for North Dakota on the way when we come back. It was an issue away from the play, a non-contact concern. We think just a cramp, Ryan, as he goes down holding that calf.
Yeah, you hope that's what it is too, and he's getting stretched out. They ran over, they got the water bottle for him, so you're hoping that it's what it is and that he can get back out there. Obviously a big playmaker for North Dakota.
The Bison did get the stop after Seidel picked up 11 yards on 3rd down and 15. North Dakota, as you see, sending out redshirt freshman kicker Kenton Loffman. He missed from 20 earlier today. CJ Elrich, their normal number 1, not available. Loffman on. This one's got plenty of distance, and it's got the direction as well, as the 32-yard try splits the uprights. Big 3 points for North Dakota on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Fighting Hawks now up by 4, 7:13 to go in the 3rd. Northridge tomorrow. Opening tip at 1 o'clock from the Betty. Paul Sather's squad, pretty new look this year, along with a lot of teams in the Summit League. A good chance to see a pretty talented Fighting Hawks team take the courts against Northridge tomorrow on Midco Sports and Midco Sports Plus. Big kick a moment ago from Kenton Lothman, now 3 for 4 on the season. His long for the year now, 32 yards after he had missed from 20 earlier today. North Dakota, 10-6, up on North Dakota State in what has been a battle of attrition this afternoon. Both offenses have moved the ball. Both defenses have stepped up when it's mattered most. And now Jackson Williams will get a crack at this. He's got 2 career kick returns, 4 touchdowns. Unable to spring free this time out to the 24. Such an electric player when he gets the ball in his football, or get the football in his hands. Well defended that time by UND.
Well, and you can see, obviously, special teams North Dakota spends a lot of time on. They have a ton of respect for North Dakota State's return game. They've done a really nice job on that unit this week, or this game, coming into this week knowing that they had such a playmaker back there.
So Cole Payton and the Bison now, trailing by 4. North Dakota has led throughout. NDSU has put together a couple of quality drives in this game. They've only come away with 3s, though, on 2 separate occasions. That is Williams in motion. 1st and 10 from the 25. Pocket breaks down. Vig and company now cannot bring Payton down, who drives the pile. Could have been a sack. Instead, it's a gain of 5. There's an injured Bison offensive lineman now behind the play. Bo Johnson a little slow to get up. This is the strength of Cole Payton coming to the fore here.
And that's what makes him so dangerous. He's just such a big, strong athlete. Again, carrying defenders from North Dakota there for 5 yards. That should have been a sack. Again, just uses his body and able to get there for 5 yards.
So Johnson, the sophomore left tackle, being looked at. We'll step away for a moment.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable.
North Dakota State starting left tackle Bo Johnson started every game this season, the sophomore from the Twin Cities. It's Caden Vig here just coming down on that right leg.
Just coming from the opposite side, trying to get Cole Payton and kind of rolls into the leg there. You hope that young man's all right. Very good player for North Dakota State.
So that'll thrust Ryan Babbitts now to Payton's, not blind side because he is a lefty, but it'll put him on the left side of this line as Penu takes it himself and has the first down on 2nd and 5. Back-to-back impressive runs from the Bison. First Payton, now Penu, and the SU starting to put a drive together.
Marika Penu, nice job here finding the hole and then using his burst to get through there, pick up a first down. That's a big gain for North Dakota State. That's what they want to be able to continue to do. Keep running the football, show success that way. That opens everything else up. Big gain there for the Bison.
Pickup of 12 for the top rushing offense in the Valley, number 4 in the country. Penu up to 51 yards on 10 carries today. He'll get the call once again. Able to bet through the first level and finally stops after a gain of 6. Jai Martin in his second season with the program, originally from South Carolina, making the hits.
Well, he doesn't need much room either. You look at all the black jerseys right there, but there's just enough of a lane for Barika Penu to get through there and pick up big yards on a first down. This is what North Dakota State wants to do. Run the football, pick up yards on first down. Opens everything else up from a playbook standpoint.
Penu, such an outstanding running back for West Fargo Cheyenne, two-time All-State in his high school days. His younger brother Barry now on the roster for NDSU in the running backs room as well. Penu with the pickup of 1, this time on 2nd and 4, nearing midfields. We said it earlier, best rushing offense in the Valley, best rush defense in the Valley. Bison starting to win that battle just a little bit in this second half.
Oh, this is a big third down, and this is where being the best rushing attack really helps you too. Is, you know, these third down and shorts, you're able to keep it with Cole Payton, you're able to hand it to Barika Penu. You've got a guy by the name of Lance out there at number 5 too. That's pretty darn dangerous. So, again, these are big possession here for North Dakota State.
Third down and a long 2 for the Bison offense. Payton to throw for it. Fighting Hawks force him outside. Down he goes, back at the 35-yard line. Lance Rucker, along with the help of Zach Lewis and company, able to bring down Payton on 3rd and short. That's a loss of 13 on the play. Big stop by this Fighting Hawks defense.
And you just don't see Cole Payton do that very often. You see him throw that ball away. He takes the sack on that one, which he just doesn't do a lot of. And nice job by North Dakota getting him down on that one and not letting him scramble around and find somebody downfield. Great stop for North Dakota's defense.
I almost expected him to get away from that. He's so good at breaking those tackles in situations like that. Instead, it's a booming punt again from Bickerton, which does roll into the end zone. Zach Lewis let it bounce past him. North Dakota will take over on the 20. Here's the sack again.
On the pressures there, you see Rucker right there. And there's a lot of pressure for North Dakota. Zach Lewis comes flying up. And Cole Payton a lot of times will try and throw that football, but there just wasn't time. Lance Rucker had a great pursuit on him. That's a costly sack for North Dakota State. And we've seen Cole Payton be able to make that play, keep those plays alive, find it downfield. Not on that one. North Dakota, a terrific job getting the sack on that play.
You see Lance Rucker, one of the top sack artists, actually now the top sack man in the Valley this year. Fighting Hawks with 28 sacks on the season, most in the MVFC. Here is Seidel now on 1st and 10 from the 20. The sophomore able to pick up a couple. Call it a long 3 to set up 2nd and 7. UND committed to the run to start this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they certainly are. And again, that's something we said coming out of half, is North Dakota has to be able to continue to run the football, have success doing that. And right now they're liking the clock running. They're taking their 3-4 yards, keeping drives alive. And when you're able to get that push up front, that's important. And they're doing a really point emphasis right now is marching that football down the field on North Dakota State and keeping that clock going.
Seidel the call again. That's his 16th carry of the afternoon. Mangama's got a couple. Kaminsky, of course, with some as well, but it's basically been number 9 getting the handoffs this afternoon. Third down and 5 now. Under 3 minutes to play in the 3rd. 4 receivers for Kaminsky and the Fighting Hawks. Seidel in the backfields. See if Grant Olson dials up some pressure. They're showing some. They'll rush 4. Pass blocked down and intercepted. North Dakota State comes up with the football. Kanan Wilson, the nose guard.
Wow, what a big answer for North Dakota State. Big play. He gets the block right there, and then it's bouncing around. Interception for North Dakota State. Wow, that's a huge play. Now you're in a great position on the field here. Costly turnover for the Fighting Hawks.
They're going to take a look at this just to make sure Wilson hung on. I believe that was a Nene who got his hands up to swat down the pass, and then Wilson able to bobble it and bounce it and come up with it. The 6'1", 285-pound sophomore from Egan. North Dakota State's been so good at turning teams over this season. 14 forced turnovers on the campaign, a plus 10 in turnover margin. They were -1 until this. Now, does he make the catch?
I would sure looks like it right there. It looks like both his hands are around the football. This is going to be a good interception for North Dakota State.
Tim Polasek waiting, but yes, nothing from those replays would indicate the call on the field, which was an interception, would be turned over. And they're going to keep this as a pick for the big man. Oh, big momentum shifting play.
After review, the ruling on the field of interceptions upheld. It'll be first down, North Dakota State.
So North Dakota State now, this will not surprise you, but that is Keenan Wilson's first career interception for the sophomore nose guard. They take over just outside the red zone, or the gold zone as the Bison call it. 1st and 10 from the 21. A chance to take the lead late in this third quarter for the first time today. Barika Penu off right tackle inside the 15-yard line. He's running hard, running downhill.
Boy, you see ever. Barika Penu in that offensive line. Really nice job on that. You get 9 yards on that carry. You can see both teams this second half want to run the football, and they're really trying to lean on those offensive lines. Nice job by the Bison on that play.
North Dakota State inside the Hugo's red zone for just the second time today. 2 tight ends set for the squad from Fargo. Penu behind Peyton under center. Barika Penu cannot bounce it outside this time. That was Lewis again, who's been in the backfield on multiple occasions today. A loss back to the 15-yard line to bring up third down.
It's one thing Zach Lewis does such a good job of is coming up and being physical, not being afraid of contact, not being afraid to be involved in the run game. And plays like that, those are important. If you sit back and you get blocked, that's going to be a first down automatically. He comes flying up, makes that tackle. Now all of a sudden it's third down for the Bison.
Lewis, second team All-Big Sky last year at Northern Arizona, a playoff team a year ago. He's making an impact in his first season in Grand Forks. 3rd and 4 now. Peyton slinging it. Incomplete. Devereaux with the coverage. Reese Kessel, the Fargo South product, unable to hang on. For the 3rd time today, this Fighting Hawks defense stepping up with their backs near the goal line to force the field goal try.
Terrific coverage. And just right at the last second, able to get that hand in there, set up a field goal try here for North Dakota State.
So for the 3rd time today, again, Eli Ozick on. He is connected from 25 and from 38. This will be from 33 yards out. The sophomore place kicker. Plenty of leg, and it does clear the uprights. Ozick 3 for 3 today, and it's back to a 1-point football game. North Dakota State able to get points from the Keenan Wilson interception. If you're North Dakota, that does feel like a win, though, given that the Bison took over at the 21 and could not get a first down.
I couldn't agree more, Alex. I think that's a terrific job by the Fighting Hawks defense. You're able to, you get 3 points on that. I get it, but boy, all the momentum was in NDSU's favor. They get the big turnover. They're in a great spot. And for the defense to come out and play the way they did on that drive, that was important. You'll take 3 points in that scenario.
And both of these coaches will shake of the head. So much riding on this. And we've seen over the years how much the head coaches of these two programs put into this game. Certainly when the rivalry was at its peak in the 80s, 90s, when they were fighting for North Central Conference championships, the Bison. But we mentioned this. We've gone through this. It was tilted one way for a long time, then it tilted the other. Now it's back on the Fargo side of things. North Dakota State playing for a conference title today. They would hand North Dakota their second loss in conference. Everybody else has at least 2 with only 2 games to play. It would be the 11th Valley title for North Dakota State in 18 years. They've been so dominant in their conference at the national scene, going toe-to-toe here with their biggest rival. Well, I would argue maybe that now is shifted to Brookings instead of Grand Forks. The atmosphere inside this place would beg to differ. Good open field tackle on the return as Seidel unable to get the lane he was looking for. Matthew Stenbrotten there on the stop.
Seidel looking for some room there. North Dakota State on the kickoff team doing a great job making sure there aren't any open lanes for Seidel to break through and get a big return.
You mentioned Jackson Williams. Seidel has a 100-yard kick return for a touchdown this season. It'll be 1st and 10 now for Kaminsky. This is North Dakota offense. Tries to get back on track, still leading by 1, 1:04 left in the third. Kaminsky to throw for the first time in this half. He'll connect with Caden Dennis. I should say for one of the first times in this half. They've leaned heavily on the run on their first 2 possessions. Dennis will pick up 6 across the 25.
Well, Kaminsky looks down his first receiver, then he finds Dennis right in the middle. And like you said, now all of a sudden you're able to do some other things because you've run the ball so much here in the second half. And kind of catch him off guard there with that first down throw.
Likely the last play of the quarter on the way. 2nd and 4. North Dakota setting up the screen. Corey Ty's got it. He's got the first down. Important tackle from Staling to prevent that from really busting wide open.
If this tackle isn't made, I think this is a huge gain for North Dakota. They've got blockers out there. And North Dakota State's defense right there. And first down's picked up, but I think this could have been a lot more if that tackle isn't made.
Zach Vanderpool came free right up the middle. Good shot by Kaminsky to keep his head and find Ty on the receiver screen. Fresh set of downs for North Dakota when the 4th quarter begins. 10-9. The battle in the 7:01 is going to come down to the final 15 minutes.
Sanford Health, the proud healthcare partner of North Dakota Athletics.
15 minutes to glory here in Grand Forks. North Dakota State trying to earn another conference championship. North Dakota trying to knock off their rivals. 1-point football game going into the fourth quarter. North Dakota having earned the first down on their last play of the third. 1st and 10 from the 31. They go to Seidel again. The Spies in defense, not allowing the big play. Not many explosives today, really for either side, but especially for UND. Everything has been 20 yards or less.
And I think that's what makes both these defenses so good is, not giving up those big plays and making teams earn it. This is a great run by Sawyer Seidel, getting the hard yards, even after contact, keeping the feet going, keeping the yardage gain there. That's a nice job. Yeah, but that, again, these defenses are really doing a nice job bottling things up. And you can see NDSU point of emphasis coming in, trying to strip the ball out every time UND runs it.
Seidel from the pistol this time with a head of steam. Close to the line to gain. They're going to give him the 42-yard line, enough to move the sticks. Seidel now over 60 yards on the ground today.
Offensive line, nice job there too, getting double teams on that defensive line for NDSU, getting push. First down for the Fighting Hawks.
18 carries now for Seidel. First down and 10 from the 42. Another big set for UND. Kaminsky will throw. Pass caught. That's Ty into Bison territory across the 50 to the 47. A gain of 11 on first down.
Kaminsky got that ball out there quick. Woolen had a beat on this too, but the ball's there too quickly. You see one kind of come across. Again, Ty able to get up there for a first down. Nice delivery of the football by Kaminsky. Good timing on that route. First down for the Fighting Hawks.
Second grab of the day for Ty. That's the 7th tackle of the day for Nate Staling. Woolen, by the way, 15 stops today. How about that? 7 solo for the sophomore outside linebacker. First and 10. Seidel, no place to go this time. Met right at the line of scrimmage. That was Kopp, the first man to meet him.
A lot of yellow helmets around that play right there. Nowhere for Seidel to go. Kopp kind of got his legs there, and the rest of the Bison were able to pursue there and make that stop.
Second down and 10. Clock running. 12:20 to go. We have almost exclusively seen Sawyer Seidel and Barika Penu in the backfield for these two teams. They've been relying on their horses today as Kaminsky now keeps it, and this busts open down the left edge. Shoved out of bounds by Jaquise Alexander near the first down marker. Not many times has that RPO been there for the QB keep. It was here on this occasion.
Yeah, it was, and at the right time he kept it, which was a great read by Kaminsky. A lot of times he's given that to Seidel. They've gotten a couple 3-4 yards. This time he sees that defensive end coming downfield. Kopp comes flying in. Kaminsky able to get to the outside and pick up 9 yards there and get to a 3rd and 1 here.
North Dakota 5 of 12 on 3rd down today. Seidel met in the hole, but had enough momentum to drive forward. He only needed a yard. He's got enough to move the chains.
Just a push up front too, offensive line. They know where it's going. And you see the big guys getting on hats, and Seidel just enough there to get that first down.
Ryan Jones, the safety, was in quick. Enough of a head of steam, though, from Seidel to drive forward and pick up 2. They're going to take a quick check to see if Seidel did indeed get the yardage required. We've only seen Charles Langama today relieve Seidel. He's been out there almost exclusively. No Xavier Lee this afternoon. Colton Brunell hasn't gotten the crack. And he needed to get the 37-yard line. Jones was right there.
Yeah, Jones came down right down the line and was able to get Seidel's legs there. I still think it was enough, and again, it'd have to be enough to overturn this. It'd have to be, you know, indisputable, but again, that's a great effort by both those guys and close enough to take a look here. We've said Kopp's name a lot today too. I mean, this is another guy that just flies around. Both those guys right there on Sawyer Seidel.
You can see he needed the 37. See where he goes down. It's just that little extra effort. Now again, after the fact, he took the ball out and stretched it forward, and that's where they've given him. I could see them moving this back a little bit, although it appeared like he got enough to move the chains. As you said, Ryan, you need a really good look to overturn the call on the field and rechange the spot. It was a favorable North Dakota spot, to be sure. But whether or not he was stopped short of the first down marker, we will see. There's our Missouri Valley replay crew having a look. It's Gary Delaney, our official today. I had a chance to chat with Gary on the elevator ride up to the press box.
After review, the ball will be spotted just shy of the 37-yard line. We'll take an official's timeout for measurement.
So they are going to scoot this back and say just shy of the 37. That was the line that North Dakota needed, so they're going to scoot it back and then get the chains out. And that feels like that's the right spot. Again, based on that angle, when he does go down where the football is. Again, Jones, a big guy for a safety. 6'3", 205, coming in hard to stop Seidel's momentum. Sawyer 5'10", 175, and that's perhaps being generous. Awfully strong, though, for a young man his stature. It's a huge play in this football game with 11:15 to go. North Dakota thought they had the first down. And based on that position, we will see what the chains say, but they might be facing 4th and inches here. Sean Kostic, the special teams coordinator, Eric Schmidt, the head coach in DC, looking on. And they are indeed short, and it will be 4th down. Great job by Jones and Kopp to combine and keep Seidel away from the first. Decision time now for North Dakota. How aggressive do you want to be near midfield? 4th and really just a couple of inches against this Bison defense, this stout Bison front that has been so good for so long at stopping situations just like this.
Yeah, this is about as close as you can get. You're exactly right. This is, again, where that ball was set down to. I mean, it is extremely close. It's a tough call for Eric Schmidt. I think, yeah, he's going to bring the offense out, which I think is the right call here. This is about as close as it gets here.
So 4th and inches. Kaminsky and the offense on the field for now. Huge moment in this football game. There's that Bison shift. They will go for this. Seidel, Kaminsky instead. He's got the first down.
Well, you said it, Alex. Great job to not have a false start on the shift. North Dakota State did that. North Dakota held their water, which is great, and I love the play call. You fake it to Seidel, he now becomes a lead blocker for you. It's quarterback power right up the middle. You know you only need a couple inches. Kaminsky's able to get that and keep the drive alive here, pick up a first down for the Fighting Hawks.
Seidel getting just enough of Jackson Dutenheffer, the defensive tackle, to allow Kaminsky to slide past. Kaminsky will keep again and not find any room off that left tackle. How about Kopp once again, who's having a big day today. He and Jaquise Alexander combined to stop Kaminsky shy of the original line of scrimmage.
On a couple plays back, Kaminsky was able to get the big gain on this play. This time North Dakota State had it drawn up. They knew exactly where that was going to go. Kaminsky wasn't able to get out to the outside there. Good job by the Bison defense being disciplined.
Under 10 minutes to play in the fourth. North Dakota leading by 1. They have led throughout. Kaminsky, pressure coming, takes the shot, intercepted! Givens on the pick! Fleming was the intended target, and Darius Givens came across. Second turnover forced by this Bison defense today.
What a play by Givens. He makes ground up on this. It looks like BJ Fleming is there. And Kaminsky's going to take a shot there, and this ball just hangs up too much there. Givens able to come over from that free safety spot and pick that football off. All of a sudden, it's NDSU's ball. That's a huge turnover. Great job by Givens to get over from that spot and pick that ball off.
Third career interception for the junior safety. First of the season. It looked like his day was done. He went down early on the first North Dakota possession. It looked like a shoulder issue. This NDSU secondary, which has been so banged up, looked like they were going to lose another starter, but Givens able to come back, give it a go. He's made a couple of big tackles since returning, and now the second interception of Jerry Kaminsky by this Bison defense on back-to-back Fighting Hawks possessions. Kaminsky had thrown 2 picks all season entering last week. He threw 2 against South Dakota, 2 now today against the Bison. 2nd and 7 from the 20 for Cole Payton, 9 to play. Good push by this Fighting Hawks front. Payton rolls out as a penalty flag flies. Caught. Raja Nelson with the grab. But this one might be coming back.
Holding offense, number 62. That penalty being forced 10 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Well, you can see 62 right there, gets the hold. And Cole Payton able to get to the outside like we've seen him do so many times today and deliver the football. Penalty on North Dakota State.
It was Griffin Empey, the freshman All-American last year. 24th game started for the sophomore from Wisconsin. Montre Samuels Parker putting the pressure on and forcing the holds. 9 penalties now for 73 yards for NDSU. Payton stepping up. Look at this. Cole Payton tripped up a touchdown saving tackle. Jai Martin able to stop Payton from getting free after he was backed up nearly into his end zone here. How elusive is this guy?
Again, I just don't know how you defend it. I mean, that's so difficult. You've got great back-end coverage. Nobody's open, and then Cole Payton just does the rest. Kessel does a nice job here, too, of kind of getting a screen on the defender. Oh, that's just, I don't know how you stop it. I mean, that's just a great job by Cole Payton. Nothing there. Use your legs, use your athleticism, pick up big yards.
15 on the game, 3rd and 2 now. 8 to play in the 4th. Penu the back. Barika Penu stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Jai Martin and company, Michael Devereaux in there as well. On 3rd and short, the Fighting Hawks front steps up.
Boy, did they ever. What a terrific job by the defense. And there's nowhere to go. Great job. Devereaux's in there, gets them wrapped up, and then the rest of the defenders are there. But look at, there's no push by the offensive line. Defensive line is right there pushing back. Heck of a job by the Fighting Hawks defense.
Aaron Bickerton back on. He's had a couple of big punts today. Trying to flip the field for the Bison, trailing by 1. Lewis will field this and just walk out right at the 30. North Dakota State separated by 1 point. Fighting Hawks football with 7:09 to go in the 4th.
It's game day, and
The top two offenses in the Missouri Valley Football Conference have gone up against two of the top three defenses in the league. The defenses have won the day so far, Ryan.
It's been a lot of fun to watch, and I know some people love points, but if you love the game of football and you love strategy and guys making plays, this has been so much fun. These two defenses have been battling out. You can tell these teams have scouted each other. They know what's coming. They've just done a terrific job. But this has been two heavyweights fighting it out here. And we knew it was going to be a four-quarter game, and here we are, 10-9. Can't ask for much more than this.
North Dakota State has forced turnovers on each of the last two Fighting Hawks possessions. UND's defense has come on the field and not allowed the Bison to gain a first down after getting control of the football. Big stop to keep momentum and keep it more importantly away from the opposition sideline. And for a UND fan, as Seidel is able to get 3 on 1st and 10.
Yeah, that alone is just incredible. I mean, you can go back to, these teams are really good on 3rd down, and this defense has just done a terrific job today.
To your point, NDSU 2 for 11 on 3rd down. They were at 54% coming in. Here is Hoskins, able to spin free and get the first down on 2nd and long. Christian Hoskins, he's been a weapon today.
Well, the speedster, you get it out to Hoskins, let him do the rest. Able to make Woolen miss there. Pick up enough here for a first down. Good effort play, keep the feet going. And the clock keeps going too. That's what North Dakota wants. Continue to keep this drive going, keep the clock going, march this ball down the field.
Hoskins had 4 catches all season coming in. He's got 3 today, a couple of handoffs as well. Seidel, another tackle from Woolen. He's having a career day today. Just a gain of 1 to the 42. Under 6 to play. This game has been very reminiscent of the 2021 battle between these two on this field. Neither offense could really get into gear. North Dakota took an early lead, 7-3. North Dakota State had to settle for field goals. 3 of them from Jake Reinholz, and eventually Quincy Patterson snuck it in from 3 yards out. UND scored late, but it wasn't enough. That was a 16-10 Bison victory in the first Valley meeting between the two. Here is Seidel spinning outside. Not enough for the first down, but he'll get to the 45 to set up 3rd and manageable.
What a job by Sawyer Seidel here. And this is a play that, again, is momentum stop. He's able to kind of reset, get the ball to the outside, pick up yards. A great individual effort by Sawyer Seidel.
Making something out of nothing. The sophomore from Minnesota, former Hill Murray High School star. 24 carries now for Seidel. He's got the touchdown today, the lone one in this contest. Big 3rd and 5 now. 4:45 to go. Bryson bring pressure. Pass caught right at the sticks. Not enough though for the first. That was Alexander. Another short tackle from the junior cornerback, Jakees Alexander. BJ Fleming a little shaken up on the play as well. It's going to set up a 4th down and less than a yard from right at midfield as we step away. 4:33 to go in the 4th. 10-9, North Dakota in front with a decision to make when we come back.
This game on Midcoast Sports is presented by Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
How many times when these two have met over the years has it come down to the final play, the final drive? So many one-point contests between the Bison and then the Sioux back in the 90s, each winning by one on a couple of occasions out at Memorial Stadium in the cold. You could see the breath in the November air in North Dakota. Today it's 72 and sunny inside the Alaris, but the intensity, the stakes still the same. North Dakota with 4th and inches will send the offense back on the field. 4:33 to go. UND has been successful on 4th down today, 2 for 3 in these situations. BJ Fleming will be forced to come off after he was banged up. So Dang Dang will take his spot. Tim Polasek arguing that there should be a penalty here for illegal substitution. We'll see if North Dakota stops this. Now 4th and 1. Kaminsky did not get it! The Bison defense step up and stop the Fighting Hawks quarterback in the backfield. Same play that UND ran earlier in this quarter. North Dakota State ready for it this time. The national champs coming up with the stop. They'll have the football down 1 when we come back. North Dakota State's defense coming up with a massive stop at midfield on 4th and inches. Logan Kopp, the all-conference performer, flying in to blow this play up before it could get started.
Yeah, we've said his name so many times today, but you're going to see him come down and absolutely blow up Sawyer Seidel, which runs him into Jerry Kaminsky. And an absolutely huge stop on 4th down. Gutsy call there. NDSU was up for the challenge. Huge stop. Now the Bison have the ball in great spot here on the field. See if that Fighting Hawks defense can step up again.
Best starting field position all day for Cole Payton in this offense. Trailing by 1. What can they do here? It's Penu on 1st down. The senior tailback stopped after a gain of 2. North Dakota has kept North Dakota State out of the end zone for 56 minutes. Can they do it for another 4? North Dakota State just needs a field goal, of course. Eli Ozick has converted from 54 this season. He's hit 3 field goals today. They need at least 1 first down to get into range. Here is Payton. Has his man, that's Williams, inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Jackson Williams, the electric sophomore from Omaha, coming back to the football. There is Ozick, the sophomore, getting ready in case he's called upon. Big hookup though, as they pick up 9 on 2nd and 8. Peyton now just 7 for 14, only 95 yards through the air, trying to engineer a drive from midfield to keep North Dakota State's undefeated season going and clinch their 11th Valley Championship. Peyton rolling out. He'll dump one. He's got his man caught. That's Kessel inside the 10 and ushered out by Devereaux. Reese Kessel, the Fargo kid, with the biggest play today offensively for North Dakota State.
Kessel, you can see he's at the tight end, the top of your screen. He just sneaks out, runs across the formation. Cole Peyton sees him downfield. Big pickup for the Bison. And if you're NDSU, you're loving that clock running right now, too. This is exactly what you want. You're in a great position. Keep that clock going.
Gain of 30 on the play. Peyton to Kessel, now 1st and goal from the 8. 2:30 and counting left. The Bison have trailed all afternoon. Peyton will tuck and run. Nothing but green in front of him. Touchdown, Bison! Cole Peyton from 8 yards out. First lead of the day for NDSU.
And gets to the outside. Nobody there for North Dakota. Touchdown NDSU. NDSU is going to go for 2 here. Line up in their offense. Obviously get themselves to have a 7-point lead. Smart decision. This is a huge play in the game right here.
11th rushing score of the season for Peyton. And yes, Ryan Kosowski. 5 points looks a lot different than 7 if you're UND trailing. Peyton looking for space. Lowering the shoulder, he's not going to get there. North Dakota with the big stop on the 2-point conversion. See Bo Johnson there, who is back on the field, the starting left tackle who was banged up earlier in this half, arguing that the illegal hands to the face should have been called. There is a flag on the play.
The flag came in late, so it's going to be something probably unsportsmanlike after. And this is a big call too. I mean, you're putting yourself from a field position standpoint, and this is big.
Our officiating crew still talking things over. Cole Peyton and the Bison taking advantage of the 4th down stop. 4 plays, 49 yards. A little over a minute off the clock. That's all it took. Peyton able to cash in from 8 yards out.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, North Dakota State, number 70. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. That's number 70's first unsportsmanlike penalty towards disqualification.
So Johnson gets the personal foul, and in terms of field position, that is massive. There's a lot of extracurricular here in the scrum. You see Johnson a little slap to the helmet of somebody as he steps back up. Better look here.
Oh yeah, you saw. I mean, it's right in front of the official too. So, boy, again, those are costly penalties. You got to keep your head in those kind of situations. You just scored.
10 penalties now for the Bison, 88 yards. So now North Dakota finds themselves in a position they have been in on 3 previous occasions this season. Down by 1 score with the football at Kansas State. Same situation at Montana. Exact same situation last week in Vermillion. Coach Schmidt talked about all over the course of this week. How would we address that were the situation to come up again? How can our offense improve? How can we find a way to get the job done with the football in our hands, trailing by a score? That's what they have here today against their arch rivals.
And I'll tell you what, with 2:22 and 3 timeouts and that's a ton of time. That is a ton of time for an offense. And you said it, this team wants to grow, wants to learn. This is an opportunity for you to go out and make a statement. Best thing for UND was NDSU scoring right there with 2:22 left in this game and not 30 seconds. So again, if you're an offense, you got to believe right now that you can go march this thing down and score and win this football game.
Ozick set to kick from the 20 after that personal foul on Johnson. Seidel and Scott back on their own 20-yard line. Good kick by Ozick, sending Scott back inside the 10. Avery Scott, they'll try a little reverse. This is Hoskins. He's got space in front across the 40 and now pushed out. Great special teams play by North Dakota to set up this offense near midfield.
Good time to pull out a wrinkle North Dakota hasn't shown all year, and that's a reverse on a kickoff return.
Back to that last Bison possession, our Lignite Energy Power Drive. Jackson Williams, the first down play, the big 30-yard hookup, Peyton to Kessel. And then on the next play, Cole Payton from 8 yards out, finding pay dirt for the first time today for this Bison offense. Now the emphasis goes back to the NDSU defense. Can they stop North Dakota with 2:13 to go? As Ryan said, all 3 timeouts for Jerry Kaminsky in this Fighting Hawks offense as we see a little razzle-dazzle from the home side to create a little advantage. Now, if you couldn't hear, they are going to take a look at this to make sure that that was indeed a lateral versus a forward pass from Avery Scott. It's pretty bang-bang as Hoskins came flying back. Well, major call in this football game is whether this is going to be at the 44 or inside the 10.
Yeah, I think that's behind them there.
And take a look where Avery Scott is. He's across the 20 when he flips it, and that's about where Hoskins is when he catches the pitch. Well, it's awfully close. They're showing the replay on the big screen. The crowd is upset that there wasn't a late hit call when Hoskins was pushed out of bounds. It sounds like this one might be coming back here.
After review, there was an illegal forward pass by the return team number 2. That pass occurred at the 19-yard line. It'll be enforced 5 yards to the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line for North Dakota.
Former special teams coordinator Eric Schmidt cannot believe this. They will lose 30 yards of field position on that call. He's right at the 20 when he flips it, and Hoskins is right about there on that yard line when he receives. So again, instead of having it 1st and 10 from the 44, North Dakota will start back on their own 14. As you said, Ryan, still 2:13 to go. The 2-minute timeout and all 3 timeouts left in North Dakota's pockets. The task a little bit tougher now. This Bison defense, one of the best in the nation. North Dakota's moved the football effectively today. Can they do so now in this 2-minute situation? Trailing by 5. Kaminsky through the hands of Dennis. Nearly intercepted. Staling almost got his mitts on it.
Yeah, the incomplete was one thing, but you're right, Alex. I mean, this was almost ball game right here. And you see that ball hanging in the air, but UND, again, they got 2nd down and 10 here. I like the thought process, be able to pick that up.
Four receivers for Kaminsky. Seidel the tailback. Watson Hafer, the tight end in motion. The out route does not find its mark. Dennis, the intended target. Woolen on the coverage. 17 tackles, by the way, for Donovan Woolen, the sophomore from Frisco. 3rd and 10 now as North Dakota tries to find something, trailing for the first time today.
You know, this is where not having a Nate DeMontenac out there too is really important. guy that's kind of been a go-to receiver, not being able to be on the field. That's a huge blow for North Dakota.
He has not returned since he started cramping up earlier in this half. Fleming to the top of your screen, an option. 3rd down and 10. Bison rush 4. Kaminsky sees it blocked down in front of him. Great pressure in front. They have been in the backfields early and often today. Matthew Stenbroughton once again, and now it's 4th down, and North Dakota's going to punt.
And then NDSU gets their hands up again. You're always taught that, hey, if you can't get there, get up, try and get the block, and it's exactly what happened right there. Same thing that happened on the interception for NDSU. Defensive line just getting their hands up, knocking that football down.
3rd punt of the day for Luke Silvernail. Jackson Williams awaiting at the 45-yard line. Another boomer from Silvernail. Williams will catch it at the 32. A lot of black jerseys down there, and they can take down the slippery Williams at the 37. We have reached the 2-minute timeout. Bison football up by 5 near midfield. Tim Polasek and company creeping closer to another Missouri Valley Football Conference championship.
It could
This game on Midco Sports is brought to you by Perkins Restaurants, the comfort you crave.
1:54 to go. North Dakota State, number 1 in the land, the defending national champs, up 15-10 over number 13 North Dakota. It has been a slugfest today in Grand Forks. The Bison landing the last punch. Cole Payton, just a couple of minutes ago, able to cash in from 8 yards out after the Bison D stopped UND near midfield on 4th and inches. UND unable to convert when they got the football back deep in their own ends. Payton and company now taking over from the 37. Cole Payton's going to keep this on the grounds. There's a late penalty flag. Now a couple come in. Got about 7 on the first down carry. Now North Dakota does have all 3 timeouts left. Looks like NDSU might be backed up here.
Holding, offense number 46, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains first down.
Sherman Wermeyer, the senior fullback.
And there's a couple on this play too, but I think right there you can see in the defender definitely sells it as well on that one. But you're going to see a lot of Cole Payton on this kind of drive.
So back to the 27 now, 1st and 20. The Bison approaching 100 penalty yards today. Clock stops, 1:50 to go. Penu. Good job by Devereaux to seal the edge. Malachi McNeil, who had the interception early in this contest to set North Dakota up for their lone touchdown today, in on the stop. And now Eric Schmidt will take the timeout. That's a big holding penalty as it makes things a little bit tougher for this Bison team. 3 straight runs to get 20 yards, even for this offense, difficult.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a huge penalty to start this thing off for NDSU. Can you get a good answer there for UND's defense on first down? You got 2 timeouts still after this. This is why North Dakota punted the football away. Your defense has been playing great. Get an opportunity here, try and get 3 downs, get the ball back to your offense. This is a lot of faith here. You got to get stops here, though. This is so important to get Cole Payton down if he's in Barika Penu. Not easy guys to tackle, but in these kind of situations, you got to get multiple guys to the ball carrier.
Penu and Payton, 73 and 66 yards on the ground, respectively. The Bison have rushed for 141 today against the Fighting Hawks defense that allows under 90 on the season. Second down and 18 coming. Payton all by himself in the backfields. 2 tight ends, 3 receivers for NDSU as they try and salt this game away. Payton able to keep it himself and almost get through the hole. Tripped up after a gain of 2, and now 3rd and long coming as North Dakota takes their second timeout.
This is a big tackle right here, because if this isn't made, there's some area up there for Cole Payton to keep going. Nice tackle there.
That's McNeil again. Malachi McNeil with 7 solo stops today and the interception. North Dakota has 1 stop away from getting the football back to their offense and having a chance in this game.
What about the job UND's done on Bryce Lance, too? I mean, that's a name that, yeah, he's had some plays here and there, but, boy, they've done a terrific job on him. These are the kind of situations where it's scary, though, because you can't leave him out on an island and totally sell it to stop the run, because they can throw it up to 5 in those kind of situations. So, yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous and so hard to stop.
No catches in this second half for Lance. Payton's only thrown the ball 15 times in this football game. Only 3 of those have come after the halftime interval. There is Bryce Lance, the All-American. 3rd down and 15. 1:37 to go. Bison need the 47. Payton, the keeper. Lewis gets him around the ankles, and UND's going to get the football back with 91 seconds left. 3rd and final timeout taken by North Dakota. Great stands by this Fighting Hawks defense once again.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything more out of the defense than that. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Obviously, the penalty was costly for North Dakota State. The defense answered the call there. Good 3 and out. And special teams, so important. Plays like this, you can get a blocked punt, you can get a big return. You got to set yourself up offensively here in a good spot. So this is a huge special teams play.
Zach Lewis with 7 solo tackles today. None more important than that. And he will be the man set to receive this punt from Aaron Bickerton. Bickerton has been excellent this afternoon. Averaging 56 yards a punt, a long of 64 today. 3 of 50 plus. Lewis standing on his own 25. 4th and 15. End over end from Bickerton. Lewis will let it bounce. He will grind up the middle to the 28-yard line, and that's where Jerry Kaminsky and the Hawks will take over with 1:22 to go. Better starting field position than they had just a couple of minutes back. Can they get something going now? Trailing by 5. Feels like this first play so important for this drive's success.
Yeah, it certainly is. And again, now you've got no timeouts, so you got to be smart here. You got to be efficient. This is something they rep every day, though. This is a practice thing. You get in these kind of situations, these scenarios. These are the times you got to go out and show out.
Jerry Kaminsky, the redshirt sophomore. Trailing by 5. He'll swing it out, caught by Seidel. No place to go, though. Well defended by NDSU. Run out once again by Kopp as his big day continues. Clock will stop.
Just trying to get the ball out there to Seidel, see what he can do. Gets out of bounds. Smart decision by Sawyer on that one.
Side level to get back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Clock stopped with 1:17 to go. And they will scoot it back now to the 28. Kaminsky, 17 for 31 today. 2 interceptions, trying to lead his team back from behind. Jerry Kaminsky flushed out down the field. That's caught. 1st down. B.J. Fleming. Clock will stop as the chains reset. 5th catch of the day for Fleming. Gain out to the 45-yard line. Kaminsky hit as he threw, and this one will go out of bounds. Logan Kopp in the backfield again. Big play by Fleming here.
Yeah, this was huge. Again, B.J. Fleming, good job by Kaminsky keeping that play line. The pocket was starting to close on him. Fleming going across the middle there. Again, nice job by Kaminsky. That's what they needed. Keep this drive going. Give yourself a chance.
2nd down and 10. 63 seconds left. Bison rush 4. Pressure coming up the middle. Kaminsky out to the boundary. Caught. Corey Tsai will now step out of bounds and up for the 1st down.
Smart job to get out of bounds too. You know, he cut this in. He was able to make somebody miss, but you got to get out of bounds, which he does. Very heads-up play by Corey Tsai.
Gain of 11 on the play. Kaminsky forced to scramble a bit as the Bison front has put pressure on. 57 seconds left. North Dakota in NDSU territory. Bison dropping in coverage. Kaminsky sails one this time. San Strandell, the Grand Forks kid, was the closest in the area.
Well, same type thing. Kaminsky sees, he feels the pressure, steps up in the pocket, just isn't able to deliver that to Strandell.
Kaminsky 3 for 5 on this drive. 53 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. Bison blitz. Kaminsky across, caught. That's Strandell. Not enough for the 1st down as the clock will run. 45 seconds and counting. 3rd down and 2 upcoming. Kaminsky will keep this on the RPO. Jerry strung out. He's going to dive for the 1st down. Clock will stop. They will move the chains with 30 seconds left. Gutsy call from Isaac Frichte. Well executed by the sophomore quarterback.
Terrific job by Jerry Kaminsky on that. He knew what he needed to get. He efforts that thing. He dives for the 1st down, gets out. Heads up play by Jerry Kaminsky. Keep the drive going. Get the 1st down. That's all you got to do is make the right play, not the hero play, and that's what he did on that. Great effort by Jerry Kaminsky keeping this drive going.
Donovan Woolen this close from tripping him up in the backfield. Instead, it's 1st and 10 from the 32. Kaminsky caught by Fleming. Knocked down by Alexander. The clock will run. 22 seconds and counting. Gain of 4 on the play. Under 20 seconds to go. Kaminsky going up top. Intercepted at the goal line. A diving pick. Anthony Shademi Alfaro with the game-saving interception for the Bison. Now they will take a look at this. It's an outstanding effort from the cornerback here.
Boy, is it ever, but I think that might have hit the turf, don't you think, Alex? I mean, when he goes down, it looks like that. Again, what an effort, though. I mean, that is an absolutely terrific play on that. But they are taking a look to see if this ball isn't bobbled and hits the turf.
Corey Tsai was the intended target. Great look from the goal line. And the ball does hit the turf before it bounces back into Shademi Alfaro's hands. The senior from Sacramento, who started his collegiate career at Cornell. It's going to be bang bang here if that's enough to overturn this. His hands did not get underneath the football. He certainly secures it, but does the ground help? That's the question, and is this enough to overturn what was called an interception on the fields?
It seems to me, and again, I could be wrong, but it seems to me like the hands are almost on top a little bit. Then that ball hits the turf as he's bringing it in, kind of pops a little bit, but again, it has to be 100% evident. The call was interception, so.
They're piecing this through. This is the football game. If this call stands, North Dakota State can kneel this out and improve to 10-0 and clinch another Valley title. If not, North Dakota would be faced with a third down and only 11 seconds left, but they would still have a chance, trailing by 5. Everybody in this building that seats a little over 12,000 waiting with bated breath. So many of you watching at home, waiting for the call. Anthony Shademi Alfaro with a heroic play to potentially seal the game for the Bison. He's coming off a 9-tackle performance in which he got a tackle for loss and a forced fumble. Call's been made.
After review, the ruling of an interception was upheld. It'll be first down, North Dakota State, from the 1.5-yard line.
You hear that roar? There are a lot of folks wearing gold and green inside this building who are fired up. Third pick of the day, all coming in the second half by this Bison defense. Tim Polisek's team got pushed to the limit, just as they did 4 years ago in this building. But the #1 team in the nation is going to keep their unbeaten streak going and walk out of the Alaris Center a perfect 10-0 and Valley champions for an 11th time. Now Peyton's backed up here. This is not an automatic kneel down. Gonna have to get a little bit of a push, which he does. And that will do it here this afternoon. North Dakota State's able to come from behind in the fourth quarter to take down North Dakota and improve to 10-0 on the campaign. Missouri Valley Football Conference champions for an 11th time, and they will win this one outright after today's victory. Time now for the PS Garage Door Player of the Game. You could pick a lot of people from the Bison defensive side of the ball. Logan Kopp, though, gets the nod. First team all-conference last year. He was everywhere today, Ryan.
He certainly was, and he was the difference maker, too. Like you said, there were a ton of guys that made plays, but 43 was a guy that was just flying around. And Kopp, especially on that fourth down play right there, where he went up and blew that play up and really stopped it dead to rights. That was the play of the game right there for me, was that stop and Kopp coming in there a million miles an hour and blowing up that play.
4 tackles for loss today for the senior linebacker. 6 solo stops. And as you said, the biggest play defensively today for the Bison, that stop on 4th and inches when they were down 10-9. 4 plays later, they were in front after that 8-yard scamper from Cole Payton. Second win in a row for NDSU now over their neighbors to the north. Back-to-back losses for North Dakota. Their playoff hopes not done by a long shot. They've got 2 games left on the road at Murray, then home against South Dakota State. North Dakota State, meanwhile, will finish against Northern Iowa in the Fargo Dome and then against St. Thomas in a non-conference affair on the 22nd. A few words being exchanged here. Again, this is an emotional day. That was Rajon Nelson that time, who needs to be held back by Jackson Dutenheffer. Great scene to see Dutenheffer and Coach Schmidt have a hug on the Hawk logo after the game. 2 Mandan guys on opposite sides of this rivalry. Good to see cooler heads prevail here at the end of a tremendous football game between these 2 teams. North Dakota State, as they so often have done in this rivalry and in their history, finding a way in the end. 15-10 your final. Back to wrap it up from the Alaris Center on Midco Sports after this. there over North Dakota. Final fourth quarter effort by the Bison, able to do enough as they come from behind and pick off the number 13th ranked Fighting Hawks. We're pleased to be joined now sideline by UND head coach Eric Schmidt. Obviously a tough one today, Coach. Just your thoughts after this one.
Yeah, just just not able to make one more play. I just think we're really close. Our guys do a good job of battling. We really had something to prove today and wanted to come out here and play well, and thought we did that. Defensively was really, really good, put in a lot of tough spots and just responded, and really felt like we can control the line of scrimmage on that side of the ball. And then just offensively, it was a lot of obviously the missed field goal when we got down there. We just couldn't get enough momentum going on that side of the ball, and just ultimately came up a little short there at the end.
Coach, four-quarter battle. You knew it was going to be that coming in here, but I think your team showed that they can play with anybody in the country. Just talk a little bit about the effort your guys showed, the way they handled this environment, and the way they came out and performed the way that they did.
Yeah, our guys have been putting real work in since January. I think, we talk about it all the time, like the process is more important than the outcome, and just how we go about our business every single day. And like I said, we had something to prove. We feel like, when you put in real work and do things and have opportunities in these games, it's just real confidence that those guys have when they walk on the field. And I'm proud of them. We're not into moral victories or anything like that, but, our guys laid it on the line today, and two good football teams playing. We got to find a way to win the football game.
Still 2 games left in the regular season. Still really everything to play for your group. What's the message now as you turn the page to Murray State?
Yeah, it's continue to stay the course. Like, that's what this is about. Like, there's going to be adversity. We've won still 5 of our last 7 games, and I've played really good football minus the the first half and some parts of the second half down at South Dakota last week. So our guys will respond. They love playing football. They understand that we have to continue to do the things every single week in order to be successful. And like I said, I'm proud of them. They're working, and we're getting better. And now it's just a matter of us being able to finish some football games.
Amen, Coach. Thanks for the time. Best of luck as you move forward.
All right, thanks.
Eric Schmidt, obviously a tough one today. A guy that lived this rivalry as a player, as an assistant for so many years. They were close today. North Dakota State, as he said, made a couple more plays in that fourth quarter, and that proved to be the difference.
Yeah, but what more can you ask for from your football team? That was an absolute battle. 2 great teams, like he said, going at each other, and it really was just one more play by NDSU that made the difference. And now you got to get back to the drawing board. You got to make sure you come out next week prepared to win a game and go out and perform.
This was a 7-6 football game at the half. As you look at highlights from the second 30 minutes, North Dakota State just continued to try and grind things out. Kenton Loffman able to knock down a 35-yard field goal to extend the advantage. Turnovers, though, started to come into play. Keenan Wilson with the big pick here of Jerry Kaminsky. Acrobatic from the big nose guard.
That was a huge play. You get that tip, you get the interception. I do think North Dakota being able to hold them, though, to 3 points was extremely important after that interception.
As you said, North Dakota's defense was backed up. The ball was on the 21-yard line. The Bison, though, did not get a first down on that particular sequence. Eli Ozick on for a 38-yard field goal, his 3rd made field goal of the day to make it a 1-point ball game with a little over a minute to play in the 3rd. And then in the 4th, after North Dakota was trying to make a little headway, this interception from Givens stopped a promising drive. And this was the big play here. Logan Kopp and company stopping UND. It was a gutsy call, 4th and inches from near midfield. They had gotten the 4th down conversion earlier in an exact same situation. They didn't get it here, and then 4 plays later, Cole Payton rumbles in.
Yeah, they get Cole Payton. They did a good job on him all day, but again, when you give him that much time and then he sees the opening, he's going to take it, does the rest with his legs, and gets that touchdown for NDSU.
First and only touchdown today for a Bison team that had scored 42 on average per game coming in. And then late, North Dakota did get a little traction, got back to Bison territory. Chidemi Alfaro, though, the senior quarterback, coming up with a diving interception with 11 seconds left to seal any hopes of a last-bid victory for North Dakota. Everything pretty even. Obviously, the penalties heavily skewed in North Dakota State's end. UND wins the time of possession battle. 3 turnovers to 1, though. We always talk about that. North Dakota State a +2 in the turnover margin. That looms large.
Yeah, it certainly does, too. And they were costly times, too, where, North Dakota was able to kind of get some momentum, and then an interception would happen. You look at second, 3rd down, though, too. 2 for 12 for NDSU. Again, goes back to that defense for North Dakota, the job that they did today. Just, again, the turnovers were the difference.
Congrats to North Dakota State, their 11th Valley Championship in the last 18 years. Nobody can catch them now in Valley play as they improve to 10-0 and keep rolling as the #1 team in the nation. For North Dakota, road game coming up against Murray State. That's a Murray team that was winless coming into today. And then a home game against the South Dakota State team that has to play their big rival today, reeling a bit with 2 straight losses. It'll be interesting to see how these next 2 weeks go for a Fighting Hawks squad that still has a great chance to make the playoffs if they can get the wins.
Yeah, it really will. And I think, again, like Coach Schmidt said, they're gonna get back to work. This is a team that loves to play football. They love to get better. They love to learn. And I think you see that week in and week out. And like you said, you take away a half in Vermilion, all of a sudden you're a pretty good football team. So, again, they're right where they need to be. But, again, going down to Murray, making sure you play the way you know you can play, go out there and perform. I think it's going to be a time for the Fighting Hawks this week to get back together, hopefully get some guys healthy. That's another important thing as you go down the stretch here and try and win a ball game.
Yeah, it was a vicious game today. A lot of injuries on both sides. Again, we hope everybody that went down can make their way back to the lineup sooner rather than later. North Dakota State, North Dakota lived up to the hype once again this season. UND victorious in this building. The last time these two played, unable to get the job done here today as the Bison claim the win 15-10. On behalf of Ryan Kosowski, our producer Greg Enkers, our director Mike Derman, our technical director Mary Horton, our entire crew, I'm Alex Seinert. Thank you for watching. Good nights from Grand Forks.